I just finished it before getting.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
is that why you were late?
That's why the music is stuck in my head.
The top.
Wait, am I too loud? Before we even get into this.
I think you're good. I think it's the same
think you're
volume
fine.
as last time. So.
Yeah.
Oh,
we're
I
good.
thought I was loud. Well, last time was when we were at Luke's apartment, and
Oh.
I was so fucking loud because
woke
because
the
my
babies.
headphones were plugged into the computer, and so I couldn't lean back as far as Luke was leaning back, so I was right up against the mic the whole time. Anyway,
We think there are small children in the apartment right here, and
I
the
did
loud
not
bang.
wake them up.
Well, that's what we said. That was the joke because we heard the bang on the door. That might not have been our door, but we didn't know.
Oh,
No, we
I
woke
wasn't
the
being
babies.
serious.
God,
We did hear what I thought was a baby and you thought was a cat.
And
maybe.
I thought it was a baby cat,
Probably.
It's
not a
fine.
young cat, like a hybrid between a baby and a cat.
Oh my god.
A cat baby.
It's like cat dog, but it's a baby.
But it's a cat
Ew,
baby.
wait, which side?
But it's Coco Melon.
Split right
Oh,
down
wait,
the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Coco Melon?
Yeah.
That's not his name. Use
No,
his
I
name,
know.
Mark.
What's his name? Steve.
Johnny
JJ.
Schmidt
JJ.
Johnson.
JJ.
Kelly, how did you find Crime
That's
Wave
true. That's
again?
canon. Matt, his name is Johnny Schmidt Johnson.
I don't accept that.
I don't know how I found this movie. I couldn't tell you
My
how
guess,
I found this movie. Yeah, what's your guess?
you were scrolling through Tubi because isn't that how we
Probably.
found
But it wasn't on Tubi.
Joe's apartment? Was you just
Joe's
scrolled
apartment.
through
Joe's
Tubi?
apartment. Joe's apartment's on Tubi, but Crime Wave wasn't.
Oh,
Is it?
where did we watch it the first time?
Freebie or Freebie?
Oh,
I watched
Never
it on
mind.
Freebie. And
Same.
never mind.
I fell asleep watching it, and I woke up,
Motherfucker.
and it was in the field
Was it
when
the-
he was talking at the camera, and
That's
it
the
was bizarre.
scariest Did you rewind? Please tell me you
Oh,
rewound.
no, yeah, like, because I
Okay.
fell back asleep and a different movie started playing, and I was like, what's happening? Because it was black and white. So, like, but I didn't realize I was falling asleep because I thought I was just dozing. So I was extremely confused, and I went all the way back. I watched like 15 minutes right now before.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Nice.
But it was bizarre because that part was like intense. So I was like, it's a scary movie.
Yes, it was like that part's like Lynchian. That
Yeah.
part also, watching that at night is the scariest fucking thing when you just start to see his silhouette coming into like you can just start seeing him from the darkness
Oh, I
is the
couldn't.
scariest thing.
That's interesting
Because-
because I had the light, like it was light outside, so I couldn't see his like silhouette. I could only see when he actually came into the frame.
Well, yeah, eventually you start seeing him, but he's still farther away, so he's smaller.
I thought you meant like it was like shadowy or something. I didn't see any.
Every time I watch it, I think I can see him coming, but like I don't know if it is him.
That's what happened to me. I think they did it so well because it was right before they cut. I was like,
there
is he
something?
coming out of there? And then
Yeah.
it's when they came back to it, I was like, he is there. Okay, I did see
Terrifying.
that. Yeah.
And
Dr.
the-
Jolly.
Dr. Jolly in the monologue straight at the camera with his face and eyes. It's scary, guys.
Tell me, do you think I thought that Dr. Jolly reminded me of Stephen Merchant? Do you guys see
That's
that?
a
Do you know
good-
Stephen Merchant?
that's a good,
Stephen
yeah.
Merchant.
He's the guy from Logan.
Yeah,
The
It
guy.
doesn't.
The guy.
Not that guy, but that guy.
He
but
was
that
the
guy.
That
co-creator.
I guess.
He's the co-creator of The Office, the UK one. He's this really tall comedian.
He has
on The Good
glasses and
Place.
something else.
He was the good place in an episode. The Janet's episode.
I know this guy. I know this
Something-
guy.
Something about Dr. Jolly. I think it's something about his eyes reminded me of Stephen Merchant, which is a
You know
good
what?
thing because I like Stephen Merchant a lot.
Yeah. Stephen Merchant is in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. That guy. I see what
That
you
guy.
mean.
Okay, good.
I'm looking.
It's not just me. Good.
So
Have
did
we
you guys
started-
like the movie? Oh, have we started, Mark?
We started 5 minutes ago. Let me guess.
440.
Okay.
20, oh, okay.
Wow.
Yes, I did like the movie.
Yes. Okay. Mark, did you like the
I did
movie?
actually.
Yes.
You wouldn't think
Look,
it,
I did.
but
You wouldn't think it.
Oh, I
It
love
was
this movie.
interesting.
Okay, good. We know this.
This is one of my favorite movies of all time. and upon my third watch, it has moved even higher
Oh my gosh.
on my list of my top 58. I think.
see.
Guess actually, no, don't. Luke, I want you to guess where it is sitting right
20,
now.
23.
23. Okay, Matt, do you have a guess while I find it?
7.
6.
Dang.
Oh,
Wow.
You know,
It's this close
I-
to being top 4.
I thought that last time I looked at your list, it was like way higher than I would have thought. So that's why I was like, I think it was top 10.
This movie means so much
Okay.
to me.
Wet Hot,
Yes.
Rocky Horror,
Yes.
Reanimator.
Mm,
No.
think Rocky Horror. What's side by side
Oh,
with
Clue.
Rocky Horror?
Clue. Reanimator.
Mm-hmm.
Bride of Reanimator.
Yes. Crime
Crime
Wave.
Wave.
And then what's right after? Here,
Joe's apartment.
No. do my top 10. Do my top 10. Okay, so after Crime Wave is, you know it.
Is Bottoms in there?
Bottoms is after this movie.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
I know this one.
You love it. We've seen it multiple times together. You were surprised by how much I loved it. You thought I'd really like it. You're not gonna get it. Just by the look on your face, you're not gonna get it.
Tell me.
What? Night of the Creeps.
Oh yeah. That's one I always forget about. That's in my top. Matt, you should
Yeah.
see that movie.
I know.
Matt, you would love
Bottoms.
that movie. I should
Good.
pick it. Bottoms.
Okay, now you tell me.
Think thesis of movie.
Joe's apartment.
No,
That's not your thesis of movie?
that is, but the other movie that's my thesis of movie. It's Joe's
Dead
apartment
Poet
and
Society.
no, Luke. Yeah, I mean, thank you, but that's further in the list.
Dead
Oh,
air,
man.
Luke.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
Luke, it's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate
Oh
Factory.
yeah.
You dumb bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
And then number 10, Bride of Chucky.
Okay.
Oh, hell
And
yeah.
then right after that, The
Oh.
Lost Boys.
Nice.
And then
I
right
like
after
it.
no.
Do all 58.
You know-
Yeah,
Speaking-
let me read my top 58.
Speaking of wet hot, there was a moment during Crime Wave where something happened, and I went, I bet you the state has seen this movie because there was something that reminded me of Wet Hot. When
Was he
when
jumped
the-
over the barrier?
yes,
Yeah.
when the
Yeah.
the
It's like
Kansas
very-
State police
That's
officer
so
jumped
funny.
the barrier.
I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Also, so funny. It says Kansas State, and he's such a Canadian. He's like, what's this? What's all this about?
Yeah. Are this close to each other when the bus driver goes up to talk to them? They're like nose to nose.
Okay,
Wait,
okay,
wait,
okay,
wait.
okay.
Before we get into it,
Oh.
other than we watch stuff together, but we got to do
Mhm.
catch up. We got to have some kind of format here
Let's have a format.
before this devolves immediately. Luke, what have you watched other than? Okay, we'll say what we watched together. 7 Days
There
in
was-
Hell.
Yes.
7 Days in Hell.
That's such a
Tour
funny
de
one. Oh my
Pharmacy.
God.
And
have
Tour
you
de
seen Tour de
Pharmacy.
Pharmacy?
I have
Matt?
not.
You
It's
should
10
watch
out of 10.
it.
Okay.
Yes, you have
it's
to.
it's the same
Mark,
thing.
do you like Tour de Pharmacy more?
I think so.
I
I
thought
think
you were
I do
laughing
too.
more.
I
Okay,
think I do
don't know
too,
which.
and I wasn't
think-
expecting me to even have a preference.
It
I
was
like
the.
that. They're
But-
both perfect, but I
Right.
would assign. Here, I would assign me and Matt 7 Days in Hell, you and Mark Tour de Pharmacy.
Nice,
Okay,
nice.
okay, okay. If we had to split it.
It has less structure somehow.
Tour de Pharmacy?
yeah.
Yeah, actually.
It does. It does.
Somehow, but it doesn't have the queen cornering
No,
Kit Harington
that
and calling him a stupid fuck slut and beating the shit out of him in an elevator.
That was good.
Okay.
We also watched Joe's Apartment.
Yes, we did.
Yes. And Hot Rod, as we were
Hot
mentioning.
Rod. We watched a lot of Bluey. What else did we watch?
I think that was it. That's all I logged.
That's all we watched together.
Besides Kelly and I watching 2 hours of
Yeah.
Sorcerer's Stone.
I
Oh,
realized
right.
once I got home that we watched 3/4 of it and we didn't finish.
No, we're in Act 3.
Yeah.
Luke, like, Act 3 is happening.
That's funny. I actually
Your
just,
list?
What happens in one movie?
Matt,
I
go ahead.
swear to God, I haven't seen this movie before. Like
Your
I know
list-
Mark. What?
Luke's
my
list
prediction.
of how he thought like your rankings
Oh.
of the Harry Potters would be are so funny.
Yeah.
I,
so
I,
Luke,
yeah, I think for Goblet of Fire, Chamber of Secrets, and Half Blood Prince is gonna mess it up. I don't know what you're gonna do with those, but
Okay,
I think
but-
Order of the Phoenix is gonna be last for you.
right now, your prediction as to my ranking of Harry Potter movies, what order I like them in.
Yeah.
More prediction.
Yes.
And so number 1 is Prisoner of Azkaban because
For
of
sure.
the Remus Sirius love dodecahedron. That's what I
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yep.
And
sure.
then it's and then I think it's gonna be Philosopher's Stone because Ron plays chess.
The CGI is fun
Number-
in that movie too.
Yes. Number 3 will be Deathly Hallows Part 1 because Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds plays in a tent.
Yeah.
And
Then it'll
it's
be
by far
Deathly
the-
Hallows.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
my God.
yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. Deathly Hallows Part 2, Voldemort hugs Draco and it's scary.
Hmm.
Then it'll be Goblet of Fire maybe because of Barty Crouch Jr., who's David Tennant, but then also
Yeah.
Brendan Gleeson.
But also,
So
the- Kelly's gonna like
Captain of Chess-
when Kelly. Do you know the part where Dumbledore just like screams at Harry?
Yes. So, Mark, do you remember when you and I were supposed to watch all of them
Yeah,
together, and then
yeah.
we made it to Goblet of Fire, and then didn't?
Oh my god!
anymore?
I thought we never started. Holy shit!
No, we made it.
No, I remember
I
you
don't
guys got
remember
halfway.
Anything.
Yeah.
I don't remember
I forgot we
anything from
did
even
that.
the first movie. I infamously hated Goblet of Fire, but it's higher in Luke's list because of Barty Crouch Jr.
One
Because of Barty
Okay.
Crouch.
One of the
Also,
only
Dark
things I
Path is
remember
also
from
in there.
that is that Barty Crouch Jr., played by David Tennant, licks his lips so aggressively. It's so funny.
Okay,
He's like,
maybe it's number
"Ah."
3.
Isn't he with baby Voldemort? It's like he's in a scene with baby Voldemort.
I
Wait,
can't
wait, is
remember.
there
All I remember
baby
is the
Voldemort?
licking.
There's a baby
No,
Voldemort.
like,
yeah.
yes.
Like
Like,
And then
Freddy?
gets birthed out of a cauldron. It's good.
Yeah.
And then
like Freddy
actually a
Krueger?
baby.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yes. and then
yeah,
Does it
so
look
comes
like
out
that
and
Ray
it's like
Fiennes?
fire.
Is it like Ray Fiennes' face on
well, like
Yeah,
Kelly,
kinda.
Well, this one. Well, I think that's just part
like
two
Jesus
where you see
being
it.
born fully formed?
I think
What?
part two is the only time you see baby's face. Like this, it's like he's like kind of a baby. You don't really see him. They put him in the cauldron. They take him out, and it's Ray Fiennes.
How the fuck is that?
because we
I
gotta
don't
watch
know
the
a
movies. That's the
lot
point of the
about
movie.
this franchise.
You thought Harry was Seamus twice.
I really like Seamus for some reason. Okay, that's not. It was like past 1 a.m. But every
You're
time.
forgiven.
You also didn't
But,
have
like-
your glasses on.
No, that's true. But Harry showed up on the screen twice, and I was like, "Oh, is that Seamus?"
Yes.
No, it's the main character.
Also, it's at the point where everybody left Hogwarts. It's holdovers era.
Yeah,
And so the
literally.
point
like,
is
the
that
point is that Ron
Harry
and
and
Harry
Ron
are
are
the
They're
only.
the only ones. Yeah.
But I'm still like, oh wait, it's Seamus.
Okay, number 6, Chamber of
Wait.
Secrets.
Okay,
I think I know you might not like this one, but they're still kind of children, so I think you'll have fun.
fun. It's more fun. Okay.
Half-Blood Prince, I think you'll like. Order of the Phoenix, I think you'll think it's fine. But Teenage
That's the one I'm
Hormones,
gonna like the least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
Um,
actually, it's funny because you guys did that. I've been rewatching Cosmonauts.
Oh,
Ultimate
yeah.
Ranking of it, and
I was thinking about that.
I watched that today. I had it on in the background, but it was so funny. And as I thought about them, I think 5 and 6 are going to be Kelly's least favorites until the end
Yeah.
of 6.
I actually I liked
Ending of 6.
at least I liked the book when I
Which-
was
what's
younger,
6?
so I don't know.
The half.
That's
Blood
Half-Blood
Blood Prince.
I don't know shit about that one. I
It's,
don't know
uh,
shit that comes after Goblet
It's just
Fire.
Harry and Dumbledore basically
It's-
characters.
Yeah.
I see.
Going on
But
a,
she's
a
gonna
fun little
you-
romp.
Luke and I talked about the
There's
part
other-
that should
there's-
like drink the water.
Water. I need water.
And what that means.
Really?
I don't even
bad.
remember what that means.
What? Luke knows what I'm talking about.
That's some good stuff. It's some good stuff.
Okay, of having seen 3/4 of just the first movie, my favorites are obviously Hagrid
Of course.
Of course.
and
Of course, number 1.
Snape. I'm obsessed with how mean he is to this child
Yeah.
and how
Yes,
cunty
yes,
he is, and he refuses to not be a bitch, and I love him. I know she's iconic later, and she has her iconic moments in the first movie, but can't stand Hermione's ass. But like I get her, but like also shut the fuck up for once. Sorry.
Hermione, circa Prisoner of Azkaban, is like peak
It's
Hermione.
like the coolest. I
Yeah.
know that. I know. But in the first movie, I was just like, what? I mean, I do kind of
Yeah.
appreciate how she's mean for no reason. Anyway, love Seamus.
Yeah, Seamus is number 2 after Hagrid.
What? No, Snape.
Oh. Yeah, Seamus is number 2
Even
for me.
though, even though Draco's a little racist bitch, I do
uh-huh,
like how bitchy this 8-year-old is. How old are they supposed to be 11? They're 8.
I don't
They're
know.
tiny.
He looks tiny.
And he's so bitchy. Like, oh my god, I do appreciate that. I like Harry, but like whatever, you know. And I like Ron. Ron's my favorite of the 3 in the first movie, because he's just like chilling. He's just hanging out. His
Ron
little
just
sweater.
changes in the 4th one, and then he's just kind of rude.
I feel like
I see.
I feel like Ron just kind of stumbled into making history, like on accident.
Oh.
You know, or he's like
But I
just
like
kind
him
of there.
in the first
Yeah.
one, and I like his rat. And it's crazy that rat's a man.
His what? Oh,
Man,
A man.
It's a
A full
man.
man. I do know that. Okay, I'm
I have
sorry.
a feeling that she didn't. That J.K. Rowling did not have that in mind when she.
Oh,
first
What, Matt?
wrote
She
that.
had
whole
every idea.
series.
Every idea.
Literally,
It's-
Cosmonauts video is just
Oh,
calling her
let's
out on
say-
her fucking
It's
bullshit.
fun to think that.
Let's say
but-
off the bat, fuck
Yeah.
J.K. Rowling.
Oh, of course.
Which
gotta
she
say,
sucks
yeah.
because Lego Harry Potter is my
That's
the
10 out of
only
10.
video game that I like.
Okay, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire on Game Boy went so
Right.
hard when I got it when I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
You were sick that Christmas.
Wait,
I
wait,
was sick at Christmas.
is that
it was
the
so
game
fun.
that Garrett keeps talking about?
No,
that's
it's
Chamber-
dressed
Chamber
up
of
as-
Chamber of
Secrets.
Secrets.
Oh,
Yeah.
He dressed up.
We also
Look,
had
I
that.
got
No,
Goblet
Matt,
of Fire.
that's the one
The
we had.
video.
We had Chamber of Secrets.
know.
Goblet of Fire never had a Game Boy, I don't think.
So it's Chamber of Secrets that
Yeah.
really.
It was. We had the
Because-
one that Garrett's talked about because I recognized the
n-
thing.
Somebody
had
needs to
Oh.
find the picture. There's a Polaroid of me
Yeah,
like,
that's
holding
crazy.
up.
Polaroid?
See,
It's
that'd
like
be crazy.
an actual like
I know
r-
exactly what
actual
you're talking
picture.
About. Yeah.
It's in the
Not a
scrapbook.
Polaroid.
Oh,
That's
it's
how
in
I
the
knew that
scrapbook.
was
disposable
Okay.
camera thing of me holding it up. We have to
Well, 'cause-
zoom in,
Yes,
enhance.
oh, yes. Okay.
It would match up with you being 10 years old if it was Goblet of Fire, if it just came out. Unless they gave you Chamber of Secrets and they released it like 4
It was
years
just like a
after.
4-year-old game.
Yeah.
I mean, it could
Yeah.
have been.
But Lego Harry Potter.
fun.
I could be
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
I remember having the Chamber of Secrets one.
Yeah.
We may have. I don't remember. My
Okay,
memory's getting
Luke,
worse with every
what did you watch
pastime.
other than an hour or 2 hours?
I don't know.
Jesus Christ.
I.
Should I pick the whole franchise for
Oh god.
You'll be
I
forced to
will
watch
not.
it. I.
No, I will never ever do that. Wait,
Um,
there are 4 of us.
yeah.
Actually, you know who my third favorite character is? It's the Sorting Hat, because why
yeah,
is he
yeah, yeah.
sassy?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why
what's
is
his
he
story?
sassy?
Who hurt him?
For sure.
Yeah. Also, like, fucking, why is everyone sorted into Gryffindor? It's
For sure,
fucking
for sure,
annoying.
for sure.
Main
for sure, for sure.
characters.
I
Main
know.
characters.
Like, also, some
For sure,
people,
for sure, for sure.
some people got like 2 seconds, and they're just like Gryffindor.
Gryffindor.
And then like Harry got like a whole
like,
fucking
He's
scene
Jesus.
about. But yeah, he
You
is
know
the
what's
Jesus
weird?
allegory, and the other Jesus allegory is Neville.
Neville.
Neville. What's weird?
I was thinking about this while I was watching Cosmonauts video. The world that she created is like, fuck J.K. Rowling, but like,
Yeah.
it's. He was talking about how it's so contained to Hogwarts, and then you're like, she could do so much outside of it, but still, Fantastic Beasts just connects to Dumbledore, and it's like, just if you could go so much outside of that world and
With
Dumbledore
Seamus.
and all that stuff.
With Seamus.
With Seamus.
Yes, but like you could go so
What-
out of that and
Yeah.
have so much cool stuff. But I feel like, well, one, people don't buy her stuff anymore, but 2, like
Good.
it's she just wrote the Fantastic Beast to also connect. It's like it would have been cool because like that world is cool. It's just contained to one school. The 2
I know.
movies that aren't are
See
the
some
last
other
2
schools.
movies, and then Fantastic Beast connects back to still
I know.
Dumbledore.
Why? What I don't understand is why everything has a fantasy counterpart. Like, why can't it just be a normal scoring system for Quidditch? But instead, it
yeah,
also
yeah.
has to be some fantasy thing. Also, why did the Quidditch scene last so long?
Because-
All we needed to see was that Hermione thought that Snape was making him fall off the broom, and then he set him on fire. But instead, we got like a whole sequence of it. And then the next scene, the very next scene, they just went back to what happened before the Quidditch game.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
It's for fun. It's world building.
Ooh.
It was like
Yep, that's just
2001.
it.
Okay.
No,
Luke,
no, I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I
Right,
just,
it's just very long.
Sorry, Mark. Okay, Luke, continue.
I finished Broadchurch.
Nice,
Very good.
nice.
Very, very good. Very good. Very good. Very good.
Okay,
Yeah,
what else?
okay.
I watched Get Out.
Oh,
Oh my
Nice.
god.
a
We
good
were
one.
discussing it in my writing class, and
Oh,
I had
okay.
and I read the treatment for it, which is like when you split up the
Ooh.
acts,
Yeah.
Whoa.
and that was pretty cool because I
That's-
didn't know that Act 1 is like called the setup, Act 2 the journey, Act 3 the confrontation.
Hmm. How interesting.
So
That's really
and
cool.
I
Are
had
you
and
gonna
then I yes
Are you gonna watch his others after?
uh
Are you gonna
like
do all
for
three?
class or
No, just for yourself.
for me probably
Did you watch
I mean
Get Out
I re-
for your class, or did you watch it
Yes.
because of your class? Oh, okay.
for my class, but I was thinking of rewatching them anyway. And then I had to read Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
I saw
That's a
this.
good.
That's a good
That's
one.
and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that it's not from his perspective; it's from somebody else's. So it's like a mystery,
Yeah.
which is cool. But now it's like everybody knows what's happening. But it
Yeah.
is kind of cool when you're like pretend like you don't know what's going on. You're like, what the
Right.
what?
Yeah. When that shit came out, that must have been like everyone was reading it like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. And I'm still reading Broken Harbor, and I think that's it.
How far are you?
Nice.
How much do you have
I'm
left?
over halfway. I think I
Mm.
still have. Oh, I don't know. I think there are like 460 pages. I probably have like 200 left.
Okay. You're making your way.
All right, Matt.
All
Right.
right. I'll do what I read first. I finished The Secret History.
I saw.
And I finished.
Strange ending, huh?
Oh boy, it was rough. And I also finished reading the Oppenheimer screenplay.
I saw.
Both those just so good. I've started reading Beloved by Toni Morrison.
Ooh, cool.
Heavy
Yeah.
stuff. And the classic horror tales
Hmm.
that I
Mm,
believe Trini
fancy
got me.
That's cool.
I reread The Telltale Heart, and now I'm on to Bram Stoker's Dracula's Guest, which I did not know was a companion
Oh.
story, and now I know.
That's cool.
Does he have even more
Oh.
companion stories?
I don't know. It was written 1914, so after Dracula. I don't know.
Who's Dracula's guest?
Jim.
I'm assuming because the main character I started it's just a guy who's like having to travel through those woods, and
Just
everyone's
some
like,
guy.
"Don't go do that," and he's like, "I'm gonna do it
Rocky
anyway."
Horror Code.
Yeah, right. What I've been watching, I started rewatching Dune today. I have not finished because Luke and I are seeing Dune Part 2 on Saturday. Don't make fun of me, please.
I
am very
didn't say
Hey, I will say,
anything. You're
I will
allowed to
say-
like it.
I didn't like the first one, but I think I'm going to rewatch it because I am
Mhm.
interested in the second one, and I always like the more actiony stuff is my shit anyway. And so even though it's long, it'll get to those parts, and watching it
Yeah.
in a theater would be really nice. So I'm gonna I'm not making fun of you
Okay.
because I might even really like Dune Part 2. I just was not a huge fan of the first one
And I
Matt-
don't mind if you don't like the first one. I just really like it.
because it's
and I
like
don't wanna be
5.5
annoying about it.
hours to watch Part 1 and Part 2 together.
Mwah, mwah.
How long it feels to watch just the first one.
hey.
Matt, you mean that you're watching the David Lynch one, right?
Ooh,
The
trilogy.
Superior-
You know what? I considered putting that on my list of things to watch for this
You should.
podcast.
Yeah.
So watch out.
It's on like something now.
It is.
Yeah.
You should.
Streaming. Luke, you should pick Inland Empire.
No,
Yeah, if we can well, we can buy it, right? Finally, somehow. I don't know.
somehow. For the TV shows that I've been watching Abbott. I started watching this show that only has 2 episodes out right now called Shogun.
Oh,
on
Dad
FX.
was talking about that.
Yes, it is good.
Yeah, that
It's
looks good.
people have been describing it as Game of Thrones, but set in 17th century feudal Japan.
Yeah, that's what I got
Whoa.
from one picture. I was like, yeah, I think.
Dad was
So-
talking about the original movie or show that was like 5 episodes.
oh,
It's based off like it was a thing in the 80s.
so
AD.
it's based on a book, so they're probably both adaptations of this book.
Okay.
But yeah, so far it's been good. Yeah, it's been really good. And I watched the first episode of Broadchurch, Luke.
I saw.
Were you?
I saw when I rated it that your little.
that I said I had
snippet
watched.
Was like, yeah.
I cried, and it was
Yep.
episode 1, and I was like,
Yep.
It was Jodie Whittaker.
Yep.
It was like
Running down the
too-
street.
Her acting was so real. Yes.
Oh, she's
continuous
like the
shot
mother
following
of the
Mark.
victim,
Yeah,
doesn't she?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
For
heartbreaking.
some reason,
It's
I
episode
keep
1.
thinking she's like the head of the police.
No.
Why do I
I-
keep thinking?
You know, and also just on that note, David Tennant didn't know he was Scottish, threw me for a loop,
Yeah.
thought he was British.
He's Scottish in real life.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I did not realize. And Olivia Colman on the verge of tears every single scene she's in.
Yeah,
Don't know how she does
You
it.
can see all of their stress. Like you can
Yeah.
feel all of it.
And I think that's all I've watched.
Nice. All right,
Mark.
Kelly. Oh, me.
Nope, I said it first.
Okay. Other than
This
what
is
I
my
watched with
episode.
you guys, you're right. I watched one episode of Vampire Diaries season 3 this week.
Nice.
You're only in season 3?
Yeah, we've been doing one season of no, sorry, originals. One season
Ah.
of originals.
Oh, okay. I
I
was
was
like, I
confused
thought
for a
you got
second.
done
No,
with
we
Vampire
finished
Diaries.
all 8, seasons of it. The
Okay.
originals,
Okay.
season 3, and we've been doing
That makes
one
sense.
season and then a mini series of Mike Flanagan, one season. So, because I got burnt out during Vampire Diaries multiple times because it was too much that doing breaks like that helped.
Yeah.
So we only watched one episode. I finished Nick and Charlie, the book, the novella.
Nice.
And it was good, and it was interesting because it was like the spin-off type of thing before Heartstopper was a thing. So
Oh,
it takes place
Aw.
after
But where is it in the
Heartstopper.
timeline? The
It's
Alice
after.
Oseman universe timeline
No,
after
That's too
Heartstopper?
complicated.
So
too
it's gonna
complicated.
be
Or
after
in
sixth
between
one.
5 and 6?
No, this
Okay.
one is supposed to take place like 1 through 6 takes place before Nick and Charlie, and I think she's stopping after Nick and Charlie because
But she wrote Nick and Charlie first.
yes, and then she's went
Oh,
back because she was just
Matt-
drawing graphic novels of it online for how they met, and then that turned into Heartstopper 1 through 6.
Matt, the Alice Oseman universe is like 10 times more complicated than anything Stephen King has ever written. The Dark Tower universe has
This-
nothing on it. The timeline is so.
This is your Dune.
Everything makes complete sense in Dark Tower, but I cannot process the Allison Oseman.
Yeah.
um,
She's just too smart. It's too complicated for our small brain.
I'll say like I already liked it more than Solitaire, not just because it was Nick and Charlie. It's 1 year later, so she was 18 when she wrote it, and it's like a
That's so
novella.
crazy.
But every chapter changes perspectives from Nick to Charlie. So it's Nick, Charlie, Nick.
Oh.
The chapters are literally
That's
just called Nick,
awesome.
Charlie, Nick, Charlie, Nick, Charlie.
Nice.
About the
Matt,
dealing
did
with the
you
same
know-
situations. So yeah, I
Did
thought it
you
was.
know
cool
she was
to
like
do.
17 when she wrote Solitaire?
Yeah,
the first
I
one
remember Mark saying that. I couldn't.
That's crazy.
I can't write my
Tie
name
my
without getting
shoelaces, yeah.
distracted at this point. I don't know how she does it.
It's
Crazy.
crazy.
It's so
Um,
impressive.
I think that's it. Because I've just been reading, and then I started the Oppenheimer screenplay because Cameron got me that. It's crazy how fast paced. Because like
No kidding.
The movie's fast paced.
it is, and the book is even more so because it doesn't have like it depends on how long you take in between shots. But like with it, it's just like immediate. So like 1 page scene next. But the forward for it was super interesting because they're saying like someone else apparently tried to write a screenplay based on American Prometheus, but they couldn't do it because they couldn't put in like a runtime that made sense. So it kind of had to be like how Christopher Nolan did it to make it.
Do you guys
Interesting.
ever think about that? If Twilight never happened, then Oppenheimer wouldn't have been a thing.
It's true. Think about this.
Because Robert
Yeah.
Pattinson gifted Christopher Nolan
Oh.
that book after Tenet.
Mm,
And
That-
he read that book and was like, "Oh my god,
And
the love
you
of my
could-
life, Cillian Murphy has to play this guy."
And you could make the case that he's not cast in Twilight if he isn't in Goblet of Fire. Crouch Jr. And you could make the case that Barty Crouch Jr. isn't the same without David Tennant. And so you could.
Just keep going back.
everything
But
connects.
Twilight's responsible for everything. I truly believe that.
Twilight.
It's the cornerstone of our popular culture.
Society. Yeah. It is.
Kelly, it's your turn.
Yep.
It's
that's
my
all,
turn.
that's
Okay.
all I've done.
Where to start? Where to start? I haven't
Stop,
like that.
Charlie.
Stop, Charlie.
Stop.
I haven't watched any more movies other than what we all watched together. I don't
Joe's
think.
apartment.
Joe's apartment.
And nothing can really beat Joe's apartment. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's in your room, Luke. I finished the book. So I realized that I lied to you guys. last
Oh, thanks for
time,
that.
that I did not have less than 100 pages left, and I don't know why I
Yeah,
said
I
that.
didn't think you did. Because
I
I
don't
saw
know
what
why I
part you were
thought
at. I was
Call
like,
her out
I
next
can't.
time.
I had like 130 pages left. I don't know why
yeah,
I thought I
yeah.
had less than
It's close
100.
enough.
But I finished it literally
Nice.
today.
Nice.
These like last 2 days. Ooh, I just like read over like the 130 pages in these last 2 days.
Oh,
Um,
Look at
sorry. I'm so sorry, Kelly. I finished the Wastelands. That was part of it. Then I read
Oh,
Naked Church. I
shit,
forgot
nice.
to. I'm so sorry. You
it's
continue.
crazy.
and then
That's
I'll
a
go back to it.
lot.
That is a
No,
lot.
that's a
Wow.
huge
okay.
thing.
I
Yeah.
finished it the day after you guys left. I read like 130 pages that day.
Oh
Your
shit.
Sunday
that's-
reading.
It was my Sunday
Yeah, what
reading,
the
and
heck?
those are over a minute per page sometimes. So I was reading kind of just like my
Yeah.
afternoon.
Oh my god.
yeah.
But it gets crazy. It gets crazy. Let's
How
just
many
say
I need
Dark
to
Tower
I
books
need to
are
read
there?
7 plus
Eight?
the 4.5.
4.5
God.
is a full
Oh
book.
my
So
god.
that's 8. If you count the stand.
Let's just say what, Mark?
You count the stand, you count the talisman, and you count Salem's
Kelly.
lot.
The back half of this book, basically Thomas the Tank Engine.
So
What
Ringo
the
Starr is
fuck?
narrating.
Wait, what?
Did you know that
Don't
Ringo
worry about it,
Starr is
Luke.
the narrator of Thomas the Tank Engine?
That's
Thomas-
incredible.
No.
That's incredible.
But
Did you know that John Hamm's the narrator of 7 Days in Hell and Tour de Pharmacy?
Yep, yep.
I forgot about that.
but Kelly, if Flanagan ever makes a miniseries, your favorite part is going to be the back half of Wasteland.
Oh, what does that mean?
Because
Just because it's
it's
Thomas the Tank Engine. Yes. Okay. Okay, Matt. I already told Mark and Luke this, but picture this. Okay, Mike
Picture.
Flanagan Dark Tower series. Raoul plays Roland.
Yes.
yeah,
Tell me that's not perfect.
he wants to.
Tell
so
me that's
bad.
not perfect. Mark
Roland's
Hamill
a
plays the little
shame.
boy.
Jake. Oh my
Um,
god, just imagining him playing Jake.
Henry Thomas already has played a hot priest, but also playing Father Callahan.
Callahan, of course. I knew where that was
Yeah,
going.
I definitely had the wrong books too, because that has not happened yet, and I don't even know if it happens in 4. It might happen in 5.
Father Callahan?
Wow.
Yeah. It had
Hazel
n-
Callahan?
this
Has
one had
Hazel Callahan
nothing
made
to
an
do with
appearance
it.
yet?
I
Related.
wish.
He didn't hear me.
Okay.
He's too focused on his cat.
Sorry, Hazel Callahan. No. Continue with what you're saying though. Sorry, Kelly, for cutting you off.
Okay, so before I read this book, Luke, what are you doing?
Pencils.
Okay. Before I read this book, Luke had already told me everything about the book.
Oh, good.
And so I did, but that's what got me to read the book. I wanted
Oh,
to
okay.
read the book because I was like, oh, that's super interesting. But I didn't expect to be as emotionally taxed by the book as I was because I already knew what
Yes.
went down. But like, it was so much more emotionally taxing than I thought it was. Like, I was planning on watching a movie last night. And like I got done reading because I was like, my brain can't take any more words. But like I just had to sit,
Yeah.
kind of lay there. I was just
The
like,
last
this
line
is fucked up.
where she was like, "I hope she lived all her million
Yes,
lives."
that made me cry.
Oh, the
Because she's
end.
like my favorite. Because like,
Yep.
look, I wrote this in my review, but I don't know if, but what I'll just tell you now. What an ideal book for me would be just all about the lives that Lexi lived.
Yeah, I know.
That
I
would
know.
be an ideal book for me.
Yeah.
Also, I know, like for a fact, that I would be the one murdered in my group of pretentious college friends. Like I know, and it's not even funny. It's the fact that like it it will happen. I'm sure it's gonna happen. Okay.
no.
Anyway, so I finished the book, and it was really good. Made me upset. Okay, what else? I've started Abbott finally. Watching it with mom and dad for dinner. I have one episode left of those that have come out, but I literally just got done watching Smoking, and it's like one of my favorites of the entire show.
Wait, so Luke, have you also caught up on Abbott? Or anyone?
No, I was waiting. I think I'll just watch it. I was waiting to
Well, no-
watch it.
Okay.
Well, because when I go home, we still have to watch Ghosts, so it's still gonna be a while.
I know,
So
but
I think
just
I might
wanted
just
to watch Smoking with you. But you can just watch it because
Yeah, we'll see.
yeah. Okay.
I saw Smoking was rated really high on Serialized, so
Yeah.
or people, yeah.
Okay. This last thing, do you guys just ever get something in your head and you don't know why it's in your head,
Ooh,
but it just keeps
Let me guess.
clawing at your
yeah,
brain?
I know it.
Yeah.
I know it. You watch Terrifier too.
Yeah. No, not a movie. That's a great guess though. Something where it doesn't make sense it was in my head. It's not even like I wanted to watch it, but it just clawing at my brain.
Mhm.
Oh,
Is
wait,
it
wait, wait, wait.
I mean, I'm on.
Monk?
YouTube video?
What? I thought
Do
you
you know
said
the YouTube
Monk,
video
like
that's-
the show.
Yeah, I thought you
No,
said
is it
monk.
I said, is it the Muffins YouTube video that was popular like a decade and a half ago?
Muffins.
What the fuck are you talking
I
about?
think-
I'm
is
too
it called
young.
Muffins
Crazy
or
Frog?
cook? I don't know what it is.
You're
I'm
thinking
too
of
young
crazy
for
frog.
this.
Yeah, I was thinking of
Think about
Crazy
Top
Frog.
Five
Bing,
Gus.
bing.
Luke, tell Matt about top 5 Gus.
Oh.
Matt, you
Well, I
won't
know about
believe
top 5 Gus.
You know?
Top 5.
No,
It
it
changed.
changed.
No. Copyrighted
God.
issues.
Yeah.
Music changed. There isn't sound on some of them. Still hilarious. But you also got to watch this one called Top 5 Saul Goodman. But it's the one that I haven't shown
At
you
least
before.
Evan.
It's one I haven't shown you before. It's a minute and a half, and it's good.
Wait, Kelly, what was the thing that you did? Because
Okay, so I watched 3 episodes of Oz today.
oh,
The prison HBO
I was
show?
not expecting that, but okay.
okay.
That's
Why?
good. I heard.
And it-
Isn't Edie Falco in it?
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because there's nothing I find more boring than men, and that's but that's only slightly joking. But no, it's actually really interesting, and I didn't expect to be interested. I needed that to get out of my brain because it was clawing at my brain, and I thought one episode would do it, and then I would just never go back to the show. But I was hooked from the first episode. It's so much
Oh.
weirder than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah,
There's,
I thought
like,
it was like super
Fourth
weird.
wall breaking and surrealist shit going on.
Really?
Oh.
It's like-
Really?
It's
didn't know that.
much
Luke's
weirder than I thought
listening.
it was gonna be. And Luke, what's the
Interesting.
actor's name who plays Michael in
Carol
Lost?
Perrineau.
Yes,
Yeah,
he's the
he's in it.
narrator. He's the one who
He's the
speaks to the
narrator?
camera. Yes, he's the one who
Okay.
speaks to the
Alright,
camera and
Luke's
does
watching
everything.
it
And
tonight.
his monologues are fucking incredible.
He has monologues.
Yes, and also the actor that plays Mr. Echo's also in it.
What?
Yes.
Kelly
The
knows how to
cast is
draw
really-
and Luke into something.
Yeah, I did.
I didn't know that. He's in for the pharmacy.
Yes, he is. He's in Court of Pharmacy.
What? Don't they say that Oz is what set off the HBO prestige drama? Like I think Oz was the
Yeah.
first, right?
It was 97. And
97, yeah, and then Sopranos happened right after.
yes, and I
Wire.
don't know. I'm gonna have to be in the right mood to watch it, but I did watch 3 episodes in a row today, which is weird for me. I was
That's
just like hooked, but it's a HBO show from the 90s about a prison, so like I'm gonna have to. So, if I'm already in a bad mood, dude, I will not watch the show.
Don't watch
But
it. Yeah.
for some reason, I watched 3 episodes of Oz today.
I like that.
Nice. I like it too.
I know exactly what you're talking about, though, Kelly. Hence why I
For
said
some reason.
Terrifier 2, where it's like, I don't know if I want to watch this, but I can't get it out of my head until I watch
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
Why Oz? Where the fuck did Oz come from? I don't think I've seen
Interesting.
anything about Oz, but I have to watch it today.
I thought, so there's that other thing that is the Wizard of Oz miniseries that Mom watched with Zoe Deschanel.
Oh, Tin Man.
Tin Man.
Man.
So I always thought
Yeah.
Oz,
Wow.
when people were logging Oz, I kept thinking it was Tin Man. Like in my head, Oz was what Tin Man was. So I thought it was like
yeah,
a,
yeah.
and then I pressed
Dude.
on Serialize. I was like, why is everyone watching this? I was like, it's a fucking prison. What is this?
Yeah. Yeah. All
The
right.
end of part 2 of Tin Man scared me as a child
Oh
terribly.
man! Oh my God! Do you remember when they were kids? The
Yeah,
flashback.
no, terrible. That was horrible.
I'm
as a
choosing. I'm
child.
choosing Tin Man, Luke, the miniseries
Yeah.
for mine.
Don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Was I too
Tin
young for
Man.
this?
Yeah, you definitely.
The only thing that scared me more than Tin Man as a child was Snow Angels.
Wait, was it like a horror
I
film?
did
Mark,
not watch.
I have core memories
Yes,
about Snow Angels.
Mom
scaring the shit
ruined
out of
us
me.
with Snow Angels.
Yeah.
It's not
That
like
was
she
David
knew.
Gordon Green.
She
Was it
rented it.
really?
She didn't know what it was about.
I have a vivid memory of being a child and seeing a dead child frozen under a lake in that
Yes,
movie
he fell
and
through,
never
and
getting
she
it out of my
screamed
brain.
at him, and he ran out there because she was screaming at him and not paying attention to him, and then he died. And I was like, "Mom, what are we watching?"
As an adult, I can appreciate that movie. As a child, I was like, "This is the scariest shit I've ever
Yeah,
seen." in
I
my
won't.
entire life."
I refuse to watch it because it like
Mo-
scarred me as a kid.
Right?
Mom did to you, Matt, with Snow Angels that you did to me with Pet Cemetery.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay, you didn't know. It's a
Oh,
fun story
God.
though.
Pet Sematary.
I
Right.
don't even remember what was it. It was the first Pet Cemetery.
Oh, I've told the story before, but I'll tell it again. So I was super young, and you were watching Pet Cemetery on the TV because it was October and it was Fear Fest. And you were like,
Fear Fest.
this is super boring. You're like, nothing has really happened so far. And then Dad called you to go help
Oh,
him with
okay,
something
I
in the
remember this.
garage, and you were like, Kelly, nothing has happened so far. Sit here, tell me if anything happens. And you left, and it happened to be the exact moment where I see a truck on the road, and I see a little kid's feet running, and suddenly the kid got hit by a fucking semi. And you came into the room, and you were like, did anything happen? And I was like, yeah, the kid got run over. You were like, oh my god.
You know what's even
So
worse?
that, yeah. What?
I don't have any recollection of that. And when Katie and I watched Pet Cemetery a couple years ago, I said, I don't think I've seen this movie before. um,
That's
and
why.
I thought I'd only seen the second one with Edward Furlong. I saw Fear Fest like 8 times as a kid. I don't know why.
Well, it makes sense because it would have been nothing to you because you were like older, right?
Yeah.
But like, it was a core
Oh,
memory for me
God.
as a kid because I was like, oh wow, I
That's
shouldn't play in the street
horrifying.
anymore.
Yeah. Good lord. Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. The other thing
I'm
that
so sorry.
traumatized me, no, it's fine, not your fault. This one I blame on Mark. Was you guys were watching a movie I refused to watch ever. This Is the End. I refused to watch that movie,
Oh,
and they were kicking around
yeah.
someone's head, and that traumatized me.
I remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Sorry.
I refused
That is
to
a
watch that
movie-
movie, but that did
That's a m-
scar me.
That's a movie I feel like I thought was really funny when I was a teenager, and I
wouldn't
would
now.
find it significantly less funny now.
Yeah, it's like when people talk about Step Brothers to me, I'm like, the movie. I say it's not bad, but it's not like what people make it out to be. Because
I will
Hot
say
Rod
I rewatched.
exists.
There you go. I rewatched Step Brothers. I don't know, a couple years ago to see if it would hold up, and I still did think it was funny, though some of the jokes had been played out for me.
Yeah.
But it's better than
Adam
This Is the
Scott
End, I'll
is
be
in
honest.
it, so and
Yes,
I
he
like
is.
John C. Riley.
Yeah,
Yes.
I like Will Ferrell too. Do you not like Will Ferrell?
No, I do too, but
like-
sometimes
He
he's
sounds like
in
a dad.
movies. Like
Oh.
sometimes his movies I don't like. Like Anchorman is
Yeah.
whatever, like that kind of stuff. So
I like him as a person.
yeah,
though.
see me too.
Yeah,
But
totally.
what I
Seems
mean is like
chill.
I can't really think of John C. Riley too much of like his movies that I don't like. Typically his
Yeah.
humor is like just dumb.
Well, he's also in like a lot of serious shit too.
and he's Wreck-It Ralph.
Lobster.
And he's
And-
Ricky Ralph.
Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story is
I
a
haven't seen
legitimate
that.
banger of a comedy movie. It's really funny. I recommend it.
I'll have to watch it. Hey, okay, Kelly. Anything else before we talk about your movie? 42 minutes in.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Yeah,
Oh my
we've
lord.
been talking for 40 minutes. I'm so sorry. What do you mean? Anything else before we start talking?
Like,
no, I
did
don't think
you
so. Just that
catch
I'm
up?
watching Oz.
Oz. That-
Okay.
I love that just because it's so random.
I love that for you. Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Kelly. No, I know what you
What?
think. Luke, you said you like this movie.
I really like this movie.
Can you scoot closer to the
Tell us why.
mic?
I really like this movie. It's really funny. It's made really well, and I think it is cool.
Oh, good.
That was like slam poetry. That was spoken word.
Matt, you. I'm collecting my
I
thoughts.
didn't know a thing about this, and so I didn't realize how much like of an intentional comedy it was gonna be. I thought it
Yeah.
was gonna be a movie. I thought it was gonna be like more like surreal and just kind of like funny because it's weird. But like no, it's like trying to make jokes, and they're all like most of them land pretty good. You know?
Oh yeah.
Like when he's like walking along the barrier and it just the music slowly starts getting like more
Yeah.
fucked up and then he falls over. That's a classic bit. Love that bit.
One of
Uh,
my favorite jokes in the whole movie is hey, I have an idea. I could sneak you in later, and when my dad gets back from the club, we can listen to my mom and dad do it.
Do it.
They always do it after that. It was also the delivery of all the lines is so perfect.
But yeah, I found it really funny and like I just really liked how unique it was. I told Katie, I was like, the closest I've never seen a movie quite like this. The closest thing that I can say is that it made me feel the same way reading Kurt Vonnegut does, where it's
Ooh.
like Breakfast of Champions. It's like kind of like that, like almost like little sections, like little vignettes, but like it's a full story, just like funny little sections. I don't know.
That's a great comparison.
Yeah, I really liked it.
That's
Mark?
cool.
I also actually really liked it. There were parts like when he kept doing the beginnings of his stories. I had no idea what was happening. I was just there.
The top.
I wasn't trying to understand it, but I was like getting more confused every time.
Luke, Luke and I, when we watched it together, we were literally, I think that happened, and we were like, Mark's gonna be so confused.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's happening. My favorite bit, this is weird, but my favorite bit was after anything like happened, and then it would cut back and do the music, the it's just like
Yeah.
happy music again. So which I think is like a subtle joke because it's just like
Mhm.
music, but it just kept happening, and it was just like it killed me every time.
It kept happening after something fucked up too
Yeah.
would happen.
I'll
I was like,
say-
"Da-da-da."
This movie surprised me because I didn't fully understand it. Typical. But I was enjoying myself throughout, and a lot of stuff it was interesting to watch by myself for sure because it's just like
Yeah.
I would laugh, but also like something where I know we would all laugh at. Sometimes I don't laugh when I'm by myself because I'm just like, what the fuck? It's more of a what the fuck. But some of these things I actually was laughing. Like him jumping
Yeah.
over the thing, like wet hot Matt. That was a great shot.
So
That was-
funny.
What
but-
about
So
the
funny.
the dog driving the car?
That was my favorite. Actually, that was my favorite. That was my favorite.
That was like my favorite.
That was my
bit.
favorite.
That was the what do you call it? The Deus Ex Machina.
The yeah,
Well,
Dave's like
Kelly,
Machina, yeah.
you know my favorite thing
The
is
dog driving the car.
my favorite thing is thinking about cats doing human things, but that was a dog doing a human
That was a
thing. So
dog.
like
It was also so random because she was like, due to strange and unexplainable events, this miracle happened, and it was a dog driving the car
And then-
somehow.
the street light that fell on his head.
That's I
Yes.
love that he kept it on the whole time.
But I'll say so. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Every time they did a beginning, I didn't understand what was happening. Anytime they did any kind of story in it, I didn't know what was happening. But what blew my mind, which was very much a Mark thing, was to be like, this was the middle of the
Uh-oh.
story. Oh no! Can you hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, now we can.
Okay, I was delayed. Was her being like, this was the middle of the story, like at the end where she's saying like, you just watched the middle of the story. I was like, whoa, and then that was like that
And
was
she-
hitting me. That hit me good. So I actually
And
really
she was
enjoyed
like-
it. It was a
We're gonna write stories and cut everyone out from the middle. She was like, we're gonna get famous.
it was a very
I-
unique and interesting movie that you could tell they put a lot of work into because it's very independent.
Yes.
Yeah, I cannot believe I was just waiting for them to address the fact that his best friend was an 11-year-old girl, and they never like.
They're
I
just
thought like the
buds.
parents would be like, "Hey, you're spending a lot of time. Like, is it?"
No,
Nope,
they're just
buds.
buds.
Also, I very much related to feeling so creatively inadequate that you decide to just waste away on your bed and let rats eat you.
Yep. Those are real rats too.
He just was letting them. He was just like staring off at like.
He also, when they broke into his door too, he looked surprised that the rats were there.
Oh,
He just
you
didn't
did
realize.
not feel-
Luke, anytime I see a rat on somebody, you know what I think about. You get one guess. You get one guess.
A
Harry
rat on
Potter.
somebody.
A rat on somebody, not Harry Potter.
A rat on somebody.
On somebody.
Fast Too Furious.
Yes, Matt got it. Too Fast,
What?
Too Furious.
Fast and
Yes.
Furious?
Do you
They
want to
put it-
explain the scene?
They're torturing someone, but they put a rat on somebody and put a bucket over it, so it had to like crawl through him.
Like medieval torture.
Yeah, in Too Fast, Too Furious. In Miami.
It's it's in my brain too, Mark. I know.
Yes, Matt knows what I'm talking about.
Oh God, another thing that's just burned into my brain.
I know. Oh, sorry, Kelly. I know your thoughts on this movie, but do you want to expand?
Do you want me to read? No, it's too late to read the description of the movie.
Do it.
Isn't
Right,
it?
Go for it.
Do
Nah,
it.
Go for it.
Descriptions come
okay, well,
50 minutes into the podcast.
Yeah, we
Everyone
and
knows
we
that.
didn't before we those 50 minutes we spent not talking about the movie. Okay,
Hmm.
so kind of what this movie is about is a young director intent on making the greatest color crime movie ever can't seem to finish his script. He has a beginning and an end, but he can't I shouldn't be reading. Can't quite figure out the middle. The daughter of his landlord, excited to have a real movie person living nearby, tries to help by putting him in touch with a man who wants to collaborate on a script. The strange Dr. Jolly.
That's literally the end of the
And
And
movie.
that's kind of what the movie.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't tell you who Dr. Jolly is.
Things just kind of happen
Anyway.
until that happens.
Hmm.
You know?
Yeah, majority of the movie does not involve Dr. Jolly.
No.
He comes in
I
like
do
the
have a
last
question.
20 minutes. I guess that's like a fourth of the movie. Yes,
What is a color crime movie?
it's not a thing.
I was gonna say, I was like,
It's a-
I don't know what they mean by that.
I love that she refuses to say just a movie. It's always or a crime movie. It's a color
It's a
crime
color
movie.
crime movie, and they all look like they were made in the 1950s.
Yes.
Oh, her
Um,
ADR was great too. Like it was just
It
so
was
funny.
ADR.
Especially when she's chasing after
Um,
cars multiple times. Hey, wait!
Hey,
Hey!
stop!
Stop!
Kim is Luke.
Oh my
Kim
god!
in this
so
movie
Luke.
is Luke.
It's
The way
Luke.
that
Yeah,
her brain
okay, do you
works and the
agree?
way
'Cause
her
I-
narration, where
Yes.
it's just like he said that it was very good. Or-
It's
Yes, Luke?
eerily similar.
Oh, you know what other bit I really liked? They were showing up to the Christmas or the Halloween party. And they're like, and he came as the guy who tried to blow up the bank or something.
That
Oh
was
my god! And he's
crazy.
but what got me was that they kept showing him walk up to different crowds, and it was
It
the
was
same
very-
joke 3 times. Was it 2 or 3?
It reminded me a little bit of in Scott Pilgrim when he's at the party and he kind of just like slides
Yeah.
up, but it was just slowly.
Luke and I can't figure out if he blew up that toilet or not.
Yeah, okay, so
Blew
hear
up
this.
with dynamite, if he was just shitting his brains out or not.
Oh, speaking of
Oh,
which,
We can't
blew it
figure
up
out
with
what was going on.
dynamite.
I thought he was in there with the woman that he was
That's
talking
what
to.
I originally thought because I was like, how did the toilet flush?
But why would she
But-
flush the toilet after? And then he
Right?
saw
So there
her-
was ultra confusion.
And then he saw her in the car with someone else after, so Luke and I were like, oh, the point is he didn't go with her.
Right.
I didn't know that was her in the car. I wasn't paying.
That was,
I
yeah, it was the
don't
same
remember
that
costume
part.
she was wearing. Okay.
that must have been when I fell asleep, but I
that
rewound
the,
it.
uh,
I must have dozed off.
How
was that
about
the costume of party of culturally insensitive costume?
Yes, that was the only.
I almost that almost added to it because it was like, oh no, they're dressed as
Excess-
indigenous people, but then like it's almost like adds to the joke. It's like, well, and then he played a
Yeah.
like the Unabomber essentially.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I feel like that's part of the joke. Okay, I get it.
When you guys were talking about blowing up the toilet, it reminded me of when at the end they were him as a kid was showing his parents, and it was like zooming up on the toilet, and he's like, the way he was like sitting.
And they were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I
That's
just love
us.
the way he was like sitting. Like,
Us showing mom and dad anything we made when we were kids.
Oh.
Yes. They're looking very concerned.
the car ride.
Oh,
Luke and I
his
feel
name
that
is-
way about the car ride.
Yes.
His name is pronounced John Pays. It's
Pace,
not
yeah,
Pies, it's Pays.
pace.
And this movie just means so much to me because you can just tell how much of a labor of love it is.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, apparently he had to sell his car to pay for finishing the movie.
Oh,
Like
man.
this is just he just put everything into it. I just love it so much, and every time I like go on a walk at night or anything, every time I see a street light, it just makes me happy because of this movie.
Now it's
love
gonna
it
make
so
me
much.
happy. I did see that like he didn't make another feature until 1999.
Top of the food chain?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
But like his job is like he's like the director in residence of like a place. Like he has a good life, and this is just like
Yeah.
a fun little piece of history about him, and I love that.
I love it so much. Oh man, I forgot what I was gonna say. But you know the scene in which he plays the sound of a car crashing into the $2,000 camera and then the pictures?
Yeah.
That was a real recording and those were real pictures of something that
No.
happened to him while he was filming. It was springtime in Greenland, right, Luke?
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
that
wow.
that recording of the crash is the real recording of the crash and those
mean,
pictures.
Might as well make the most of it if you have the footage. you
Isn't that
know?
crazy? just
I
thought
love
was-
that.
I,
I-
wa- I like,
like-
the oh sorry,
You go.
the car was like obviously a car that they just bought because it was like rusted out, but like the car that was upside down.
Oh, with the jaws of life.
Oh yeah.
Yes, like you could just tell it was like an old car that got rusted out, and that's why that hole was there. But they made it look try to be like it was because of the crash.
That had to have been when I saw that. I was like, far and away, probably the most expensive shot of the movie right there.
Yeah, but
And
it,
it was
just
all
it was
for
like a
him to just
jumped
be
car.
like- But it also
Yeah.
had no real impact on the story because it was
Nope.
just him being like, he thought that the jaws of life were really good, but they could end up in the wrong hands.
He
Anyway,
was also eating while staring at this dead body.
he was like eating peanuts. He wasn't dead. They saved the man with the jaws of life.
Presumably.
Yes, they just covered
Yeah.
his face. Dude.
He was covered in blood.
I thought it was so funny that at one point they're like, "Hey, you're a weird guy. You want to meet this other weird guy?" And they like tried to like set
Lyle!
him up. They set him up on like a buddy
Friend
date
date?
with Lyle. Yeah.
Lyle cool as hell. Lyle liked dinosaurs and planets. He was cool as hell. The scene of him having to count the cars, and then he was
Where he's
like, and when he finally, yes! It was also a scene that I was like, oh, Kim is so Luke, because she was just describing what was on the walls. She was like, they had a postcard from here and a thing signed by the mayor and some stickers. I love it.
Remind me, was there a part where Kim ends up just like passed out asleep outside? I feel like very funny shot.
It's after she first steals the trash.
That's
She's
right.
hiding in the bushes.
Oh,
And then
which-
she's like, oh, I'm safe now. But then she was just
She
like
falls
passed
asleep.
out in the bush.
that confused me. I didn't know what happened, and I didn't even try to think about it. I just moved on. I didn't realize she fell asleep.
Oh.
I didn't know what they were trying to show.
And then it was so funny that he like it's like obviously he would notice that all of his papers were gone. So he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
here you go.
And he doesn't talk. He doesn't say a single word. Wait, actually,
Voiceover.
I think he might say a single word, Luke.
What'd
He
you say?
does.
When he gets the rabies shot in his
Yep.
ass.
He says
What
I
did
"Ouch."
think
say?
he goes, ouch!
Yep. I clocked that because I was
What
like, I
does
think
it
that's the
mean?
first word he said. Yeah.
Well,
What does it mean?
In the other shorts that he's done, he plays a man named Nick, and he doesn't talk in those either.
Oh. Okay.
And I was watching very rare interviews of him. I could only find 2 of them. But
Oh, wow.
he said that it's because the budget was so low that he would often have to appear in his own things, but he
Yeah.
didn't consider himself that good of an actor. And so he thought that if he just didn't talk, then he could be just as good as anyone else. So he
Attaboy.
Shout
decided
out.
that he didn't want to speak in any of his stuff.
Respect.
I love him.
That feels like
I-
the
I feel-
Rob McElhenney effect.
Yeah. I feel like that's kind of what I assumed because I was like, I knew he was starring in it. And the fact we got like 20 minutes in, he hadn't said a word. I'm like, I feel like I know what's going on here.
But no, but it's also a deep character, especially with this character. I think it adds a lot of layers to it.
Oh, I like that
No?
he does
Okay.
No, I like that he does this.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
It's
only
good.
says, ouch!
All he needs to do is gesture, and Kim knows exactly what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm. Him does all the talking.
Ooh.
This 11-year-old.
I changed my mind. No, my favorite part is still the car when the dog is driving it.
Yeah, the
My
dog.
second favorite part is the party they have. The
Yeah,
celebration.
yeah.
That's- What was the song?
Then they like, oh, I forget. But they like sprayed like a fire extinguisher at
Yeah,
the
at the
balloon.
end?
They were
Yeah,
like
I don't
throwing
know.
shit at the end.
I like that part because I was confused. I thought for some reason he was gonna be like upset at her for sending it in, but then it cut and they just had party hats like it was a
It was his
birthday.
birthday.
Yeah.
It was his birthday.
Oh, I thought they were just celebrating it.
Well,
Yeah.
it was on his birthday. That's why he
Oh,
also
it
had
was
a
on
funky
his birthday
shirt.
and
Right.
you're right. Because it happened to be on his birthday.
At the beginning, before I knew what this was about, I like legitimately thought it was gonna be like a parody of musicians because that was the first one. And just him dying face first into the pole, and then like the
Yeah.
dad
The
bringing the
camera.
kid up to like
The
It's so
legs killed me.
the legs. It's so funny.
That was the first time where I was like, "What the fuck is this?"
That's why I was like, oh, I get the vibe this movie's going for. Okay, I'm in.
I'm so glad you guys liked this movie because it's such a strange little thing where it's just like it could just go unnoticed your whole life.
I
know?
was so pleasantly surprised by like the tone and the vibe of it because I really didn't know. I was trying to figure it out. I didn't want to like spoil it for myself, but I was assuming something Lynchian where it was like gonna be like I'm gonna be confused and we'll see if I like it. It's like no, it was just like silly.
When you
It
just
was
said
silly.
you didn't know
It
if
was
I would
also-
like it, I thought the same thing, Matt.
Right.
Like I was thinking is
Okay.
like when you say I don't like something, I think like
Well,
David
no.
Lynch ish.
And maybe that wasn't the right way to put it. I think like I thought you would find it funny, but also wouldn't know what was going on.
That's
and
what
I think
happened.
that's what happened. But it is. It's a silly movie, but it's also really sad at parts. And also
Oh yeah.
it's like what the fuck was the scene in the hotel room? Like that shit was disturbing. the
Which scene?
what's the song he was singing? The hogtied scene.
The motel.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Singing.
What?
Oh my
the
gosh.
So dark. I
like
thought
what the fuck was that? I love
I'm
it. though.
almost positive that the person hogtied was John Pace.
Oh,
and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
the
why he
wig.
didn't show his face. I was
Yep.
confused. I thought it was him because he had the picture.
I thought they had
Right.
the same physique too. I was like, I just assumed it was him, and I was like, oh, it's not supposed to be. Oh, okay.
But still, like, because it's silly fun time, and then it gets really
like-
dark at one point.
Or like at the end where it's like
I love it.
he's gonna kill her because he sharpened the knife. And
Yeah,
so
what was
they've done
that?
nothing to hint that this is a thing.
But did you see that the cake that he made
Was-
looked
it was
like
the
whenever they
top.
were like
Yeah.
the top?
Yeah.
The top.
I
The
actually
top.
did realize that.
They made it. They made it there.
They made it.
You know what especially made me think of Kurt Vonnegut was the story of the Allway, wherever they were selling. Was it?
The couples that were like,
Yes.
yeah,
Because Breakfast of Champions, it's like about like a car salesman, and it's just got that kind of vibe. And I was like, I feel like it was like an intentional, just like being in that world kind of thing.
that probably I wouldn't be surprised.
Because in Breakfast of Champions, the car salesman, the whole thing is about how he's losing his mind and he tries to kill some people. Like, so
Oh.
like it's
Probably.
very-
Is
Then-
there's a car salesman, but is there a car counter in Breakfast of
Mm.
Champions?
Oh man, what?
Mm,
Who was he doing that
Lyle.
for?
That's
What
his
is the
job,
point?
Matt. You don't get
That
it.
was his job.
profession.
Because
He probably got it at the
because-
business factory.
Yeah, business factory.
because the light whatever she narrated why he had the
Yeah,
job.
it was like for the city. They
I
had to
know.
know.
It could cause accidents and people could get
Was-
hurt or even
And
die.
then it did.
Yeah.
And then it
And then it
happened.
did.
There's a car.
Whoa.
It came back. Whoa.
He's not just counting cars. He's counting how many go left, how many go right, and how many go straight. Most importantly,
Yes, yes.
it's very tough work.
And he gets paid $12 an hour for that.
Honestly, $12 an
said-
hour
That's pretty
in
good.
1985.
Great.
That was
That's
good. for him.
amazing. And
I'll
he
take
said
it.
the best part of the job is the other guys, but they weren't there.
But they were.
The other guys.
Her narration was really good for how young she was, and it was very, very
Oh
funny.
yeah.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I just want that to happen
She-
every time I walk out of a room. Like,
The little actress that played her became like a news ancher in Winnipeg.
No
Really?
way, really.
Yeah.
That
pretty
makes
cool.
sense. Yeah.
You know
All the
what?
narrating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, this is random. That made me think of it though. One of the final 4 women in The Bachelor played one of the extra Girl Scouts in The Pacifier. The ones that
Really?
were like,
hell?
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh my god. That movie is on a list of like movies that are very special to me.
Oh, I thought you were gonna
But,
say
like-
for the podcast, which
No,
maybe.
just like there are
Mhm.
movies where like I've rewatched them with Katie and where I like didn't realize how special they are to me. Even if they're movies where like as an adult I'm like this isn't great, it's still special to me.
Mhm.
That's one of them.
Isn't the pacifier a part of the state extended universe?
It is. It is. Thomas and Robert wrote it.
They did.
Yeah.
Yep. Thomas and Robert
I
wrote it.
forgot. Yep, that's why. That's
That
I
makes
remember-
sense.
Matt, I
They've
remember
been
you-
with us our whole
You know
life.
what? That's guys. Oh my god, my brain just frontal cortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Matt, you told me that they wrote the pacifier when you read the Reno 911 book before you knew anything about the state.
That's crazy.
You read their book and you talked to me about the pacifier years ago.
Yeah, that was the book that they wrote about how to write comedy movies,
And it
they
was
talked
about just
how
making
to sell the
money.
pacifier.
Yeah, because they
Yep.
were like writing
They're
is
like, it
just
doesn't
about
need to be
making
good.
money.
It just has to make money for you.
Which is so,
So
funny.
funny.
It's so much funnier
That's
now
incredible.
knowing like the whole state stuff, and I don't even know as much
Oh,
as Luke and
yeah.
Kelly do. But like, that's funny because you kind of got into that after Reno 911. So I've known the pacifier thing forever just because of that.
Forever, I know. I totally forgot until you reminded me now.
The
Wow.
pacifier.
But that's one. We were watching School of Rock, and I
hell
realized I
yeah.
was like, this movie is
that
like,
one, yeah.
if I had like a Hall of Fame, like it's so special for, and that one's like legitimately a good movie. But
Whoa! Are you saying that the pacifier isn't legitimately a good movie?
what I'm saying is, I haven't seen it since I was probably 12, so I
Yeah.
can't tell you.
Bitch got a
but-
success. Claim another.
Blame
victim.
another victim.
I
that
love
was
it.
so funny.
I love that.
What actually might be my favorite joke of the whole movie is the 10 seconds of silence, and then
That's.
that was one. That was one of Steven's attacks of self-doubt.
I think that's
Oh
my
my
favorite. I
God.
think that's my favorite.
Okay, guys, wait. Not saying it was because of the self-doubt part. It was the zoning out and then just happening and going
Yeah.
back. It reminded me of Luke.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
like that was
I
so.
feel like
Remember
it would
when Kim was at the table and she was started talking, and then it just went silent for some reason, and it cut to her, and she was like not staring at anybody.
Yeah. I also just like that, like, they were just like, yeah, sure, you can come to the party too. And just like,
oh, all right.
well, I just like that Kim just went wherever.
Yeah.
They were like,
She-
yeah, Lyle, take your friends with you. One of them is an 11-year-old.
She was the only child at this party.
Yeah.
Or like car counting with these two grown men. Like just
Yeah.
but they're just chilling.
So funny.
They're just hanging. They're just friends.
I love that. I love that it was nothing about like it being creepy
being
or
weird.
anything.
Yeah.
Which I
Yeah.
thought the parents were gonna mention something, but no, they're just
They were
buds.
just like-
Yeah,
I thought so too.
the most they were just like, the most they said about it was the dad was like, leave him alone.
Yeah.
Don't bother him.
And then the parents were super nice to him too about him staying there. It's just good vibes, guys, until
Oh, yeah.
Dr.
Yeah,
Jolly.
until Dr. Jolly.
Oh my god.
Well, good vibes.
But-
It's also depressed the whole movie.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
good
yeah.
vibes.
Very sad.
It's about him being sad.
What was up with his door to his room?
There
What
was
was
like
that?
stairs that led to it, and then it was like a door in the ceiling because he lived at
Yeah.
above their garage. Oh, wait. What's
It
the
was
line?
so. It looked like so hard to open.
What's the line? What's the line? Give me a second. You guys talk.
Vamp. Talk. Yeah.
That's like the
Fill the
hardest thing when
space.
someone tells you to talk.
To fill the space. I thought of something from the movie and I completely lost it. And I've been trying to think of it for like the last 10 minutes.
This is what I was just gonna say. It was first thing in making color crime movie. You need a color crime movie maker. This person here is a color crime movie maker. His name is Steven. He lives in our garage. That's it. I
Oh,
just love the line. I wrote down so many lines because Luke, after I watched it with you,
Mhm.
I put it on again
Of course.
on my own,
Mhm,
um,
mhm.
Oh,
so I could write down some of my favorite lines in it because just everything makes me laugh so hard.
I remembered one of my favorite shots, not scenes.
Ooh, yeah.
It was at the party when he was spinning her around like an ice skater, and then
Yeah.
it would cut to like the camera on her as she was spinning. Just, like,
Actually, I don't know how they filmed that.
I,
Impressive.
it looked like it had been attached to, like, because it stood on her,
To
but
him.
it was spinning. That was funny. I love when random movies just like put an insert shot in there. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like,
It didn't need to be,
It's,
but
like,
it makes it that much
disorienting.
better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because everything else is like static cam, and then there's
Yeah.
that. Because like, especially with him
This-
directing it and everything,
Yeah.
I did notice like it wasn't even like handheld. Everything was static. And then that one was bizarre. That one shot.
It was necessary.
This is one of those special movies where, like, because if you saw this guy walking down the street, other people wouldn't know who he was, but you would know. And, like, I wonder if he's
Immediately.
ever had people come up to him and like, "Are you the guy who did Crime Wave?"
Wait, yeah,
Like-
because it is kind of like
Yeah.
a cult movie now.
Yeah.
Like, still not a lot of people have seen it, but like I think they played it in a theater. It's got a cult following now.
I wouldn't be surprised if like at one point The Loft played this. for
Yeah, like I
something.
wouldn't be surprised with that.
Oh, if they do,
I-
we
well,
have
and-
to go.
We have to.
We
On
have to go.
Letterboxd, it has a 3.8.
go.
Like that's really
Yeah.
good.
Yes.
You know, people really like this when they do
Also-
see it.
I don't think his picture on Letterboxd is him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think that's him.
That's so funny.
Because I was doing a lot of, I just wanted to know everything about him I could, because I have problems with parasocial relationships with people that I don't
Oh,
know.
That's
Um,
that's his picture on IMDb too.
I know, but I don't think it's him, because there were other pictures, and I think it's a different person.
It could
Maybe it's
very
not.
well be.
Maybe it's just, maybe it's a, maybe, I don't know, but I don't think
I'm-
it's him. Which
I'm
is
looking him up. But Google's probably not even gonna know what I'm talking about. Okay, so the picture that I found when I Googled him looks so much more like him. You can't see
wow, you
shit.
can't see shit.
But like, yeah, it looks way more like him than the other guy. I don't
Yeah.
think that was him.
I don't know, but maybe it is him. But if it's not, I don't know who the fuck that guy is.
I love
Anyway.
the way that Canada does stuff with their movies because it's like sometimes you get funding from them and sometimes you don't. And this is like clearly one where he's like funding it himself. I've never seen something like this.
Well, I always think it's funny. Like in the credits, it's so nice. Like there was John Pays Sr.
That's
was
what
one
I
of
was.
the credits, and Maria Pays, and yeah, it was cool.
That's what I was trying to remember for the last like 15 minutes that I couldn't remember what I was trying to say. Is that I saw? I was like, oh, those are like his parents. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I want to know who played Jesus.
Oh
That
man.
I
one-
want to know too.
Oh man.
Luke, is that your favorite part, or is it the attack of self doubt?
It's the attack of self doubt, but the Jesus part, it's attack of self doubt, the birthday party, and Jesus.
Yeah.
What about the dog?
The dog died in the
and,
car.
and the jumping over the barricade,
Someone.
Everything.
and the bushes, and when she's passed out on the ground. There's a lot.
Someone really should have checked on Steven when he was having dreams about all of the characters interacting with each other because that was
Oh,
horrifying.
That was good. That
Yeah,
was like the cameos before Marvel started doing all their cameos.
That was crazy.
A Crime Wave walks so
Oh,
Marvel
That was
could
the
run.
original. The original.
Yeah,
So true.
exactly.
So true. No, it was like at night Steven's in a club, but he's the only real person in that club. It was like, oh.
Well, and like
Yeah.
all the people he's imagining are like
Fighting.
this close to committing felonies. You
Yes.
know, like oh god.
But they were all interacting with each other, even if they weren't in the same story. It was like, yeah, that's how my brain works too. You know?
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
Yeah,
but it was like this movie makes so many creative decisions that I
Yes.
really like.
I-
Like that I don't feel like
so
I
cool.
could have come up with, and that's why I
Yes.
love it so much.
It's like, I guess technically taking risks, but it doesn't feel like taking a risk. It just feels like
No.
this is exactly what he wanted to do.
Well, trying to put yourself in his shoes, it's like you sold your car to raise the money to finish. Like, I feel like people, when they have an idea, like a silly idea like this, they wouldn't put up the money to finish it. And I
Yeah.
love that he did. And he
It's such a
stuck
passion
through.
project.
Yeah.
I did learn, and okay, apparently there's an original ending to this movie, but the only thing I've seen from it is one shot, and it's of an old lady on some guy's back, and Steven's just staring at them. But it's a different ending, but I don't know if we can
Why?
find it anywhere. I don't know.
So, somebody Google or somebody send an email to johnpays@canada.ca.
You know what? Yeah, honestly, probably that will probably work. You put that in. But I don't know. Maybe one day we'll see a different ending to this movie, and
That'd
I
be
don't know what that
crazy.
entails,
That
and I
would be
don't know why there's
wild.
two endings. It's fascinating though. I wonder. I'll see if I can find the one shot.
I
of-
hope that sometime in our lifetime it'll have the treatment of some of those movies that come out of like obscurity, where most of the time it happens with bad movies like Troll 2 and stuff, but
Mm.
I hope it would happen for this where like it came out, people forgot about it, and then like 30 years later somebody like it somehow got reintroduced to the general public and it became popular.
I feel like it's happening. currently. At least
Yeah?
probably it was showing at like festivals in Canada
Mm,
because it's like this because like the local director and like
right.
when you it's like hard to watch this movie and not be into it. You know,
Or
like
at least
why would you watch it if you didn't like
or to
it?
not appreciate what just what he did with the art
Yeah,
of it at least. Yeah.
yeah.
How about
And
that
I
part
don't know
that
if
he
I've
looked
watched.
like? Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
Go ahead, no, Matt.
Matt.
Go ahead, Mark.
Oh, um,
Stop having the same
I
name.
was just gonna say when he became
Sorry.
big time director, he looked exactly like Walt Disney.
Well,
And his big ass
oh,
face.
he
You're-
he did Steven Spielberg and then Walt Disney.
The Steven
Yeah,
Spielberg
that-
bit was hilarious.
I
That
was
was so funny.
confused.
The
I
hat
didn't
and the
get that it
beard.
was trying to be Steven Spielberg, so I was just confused why they did that, and then they cut back to him getting an award, and it was like back to normal. It's like, what is happening?
That's exactly what Spielberg looked like in the 80s.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I remember. that
Yeah.
now.
When he got so successful that he started getting bored, and it was like aimless, tired,
Ugh.
sleeping often.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
napping often.
yeah.
Napping often.
Like,
And he
he's
says
so
like
real. He's so
jump
real.
cuts of him just
It's like on the ground. When he was looking in his closet and it had everything he wore, and the dynamite was on a hanger.
and then the end of him just being like, I really did try to be good.
Oh, that actually though, that makes me so
I really did-
emotional.
Like, I thought this movie was just gonna be like, bit after bit after bit, and then it would be over. But like, it actually had like an emotionally resonant ending.
Yes.
For me,
I
at
just-
least.
It really did for me.
Yeah.
This movie means a lot to me, and I just sent you guys the picture, the one shot of the other ending
Oh boy.
that I've seen. Old lady, but I don't know what's going on.
The top.
I don't know if I've seen a movie like this independent and this
Yeah.
like I don't know if I've seen a movie this independent and this like passion project in general, but also this good. Like this
Right.
just like this is such its own unique little thing.
This almost feels like when in Moral Oral when he's like, "We're gonna watch my movie in the backyard."
Oh my
But like,
god.
but like, well, that's what I was expecting, just based on like how cheaply made it was and stuff. And it's like, no, this is like genuinely like good writing.
Yes.
It's like
um,
not just a silly little thing,
They had an episode of Bluey that was like that episode of Moral Oral.
Oh hell yeah! Do you
So
think
what?
Bluey has
Oop.
seen Moral Oral?
No, I hope
Bingo
not.
has.
Oh,
Bingo.
oh, that was an update I forgot to give because you guys all know it, but I've been converted. I'm a Bluey stan.
Bluey
I have
stan.
to update because it took me 2 minutes to get really into Bluey, and I
Yeah.
watched a lot of Bluey, and I
Matt,
love Bluey.
You
now.
weren't there when she was not against Bluey, but hesitant. Towards
Coco
his-
Melon was
Yeah,
Bluey,
yeah,
you're right.
and
was
immediately
loyal.
2 minutes into the episode,
I
she was like, "I'm in."
if I'm
I was
if
unloyal.
I'm being honest, I'm always a little scared, right, to start a show that I see has such high ratings. Because if I don't like it as much, I feel bad. And I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why don't I like it? But it was like immediately so funny. I was like, okay, thank God
It's just
I like
a feel-good
it. Oh.
show, and
Yeah.
Bandit just gets shit on constantly.
Bandit.
The filmmaking is so funny. Like
Yes.
when Bingo was getting bounced on the ball. And it
Or you gotta watch Sleepy Time.
oh,
Maybe time
God.
10 out
Oh,
of 10.
that one's crazy.
Is it gonna make me cry like camping did?
Wait,
Yeah, a little.
Kind of,
Camping
not
made
as
me cry.
not as much as camping. I feel like,
There's
but
in
it's
depth.
like,
The
on.
lore to Bluey gets.
did
Yeah.
I watch Sleepy
It's
Time
a
with
shared
you guys?
dream.
guys. Oh
No,
my
I watched
God,
it on my
there's-
own.
Oh, okay.
There's another episode that like just the ending. It wasn't as crazy as camping, but the ending gives you that shock of like how like oh my god, like what the fuck is happening at the end.
Camping
Another one
destroyed me.
happened during a normal episode. They did that ending, and I was just like,
I am so curious to see what like this generation of like toddlers, what they grow up to make as filmmakers, if this is the content they're getting as toddlers.
Well,
'Cause, like,
there's the
this is-
half that are getting Bluey, and then there are half
Coco
that are
Melon.
getting
Coco
Coco Melon.
Melon.
You need a good balance.
I'll tell you, everybody I've talked to, like, because I just ask people at work if they watch Bluey.
Yeah.
the ones who have said yes are parents, but they have said that they like
It's so
are
good.
excited when new episodes are out because they like
Hell yeah.
they have caught up and they've watched all of it. And they're like, oh, I talked to someone at my work and they were like, oh, I have a 2-year-old. When a new Bluey episode comes out, it's like a thing. Like
Yeah.
it's like a big deal.
Well, that's how like kids shows should be. Like it should be a moment for you to share with your kid, not crap, we got to turn this shit on again. You know?
You can share so many moments with Coco Melon. Just
Actually,
because
yeah.
I love Bluey doesn't mean that I don't
Fair
also
enough.
love
Some
Coco
things-
Melon. The
I-
wheels on the bus, the best thing I've ever seen.
Right? It's a classic.
I think
Oh, Matt, you haven't even seen the Coco Melon wheels on the bus.
Oh,
You
no.
don't know.
You haven't seen the Boo Boo song either.
It's not Coco Melon.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not.
spiritually.
Spiritually.
Coco Melon's a spiritual successor to the
Yep.
That's actually true.
What I love about Bluey is like you could just tell it's like kids and they just said say this line and when they fuck up
Yeah.
they just keep it sometimes, especially with
Yeah.
Bingo. But like this one of the last episodes they had never heard the word romance before, so they kept saying if their parents could romance each other when they just meant like be romantic at each other. So
Bit of romance.
I think
each
no,
other.
romance is the correct way to say that.
like can you
It
guys
just
Or
the way
romance someone.
they would use it in the wrong way. I'm not doing it correctly, but
You're
they
just dumb.
Can you
But it
guys
also
be
sounds like-
romance? It's like what they would
Oh,
say.
I see.
Be romance.
Yeah.
It also sounds old timey if you say like,
Yeah.
"Did you romance her?" It's like, am I
Maybe they
reading
say that in
Bronte?
Australia.
What?
Maybe they're
Yeah.
saying it right and I'm just too stupid.
And you're just too stupid.
It's still funny for like, how old are they supposed to be? 4 and 6.
4 and 6.
4 and
Like,
6. You're not 6 like me. No, Matt, did you know that they're voiced by the crew's and the cast's children, and so they're uncredited to keep them safe
I
and everything, but it's just the so
Based on
sometimes
what
their
I-
voices are a little bit different.
No,
Yeah,
Bingo's
voice on-
changes
I
sometimes.
love it.
oh, does it? I figured based on what we had heard when we watched that it was that because it was the same thing as like this is gonna be a weird comparison, but in South Park,
Yeah.
Oh, Ike.
Ike, yeah, like it sounds like Ike, where it's like that was clearly a toddler. That they're like, say this, and he's like, okay.
That's great.
Every time someone
I
mentions
love
South
it.
Park, I get like a obviously I like South Park is like a huge thing, but I get like a like instant memory of us watching 8 seasons during COVID, and it's like
Yeah.
I always forget we did that, and then when someone mentions South Park, I'm like, holy shit, we watched 8 seasons of that, or we watched 7.
That's
and
still
didn't
not
touch
even
8.
halfway through the show.
I know, but
Not
we watched
right.
so much into such a short amount of time that I don't remember it. It's the same thing as you with Harry Potter. Like, I remember Gravity Falls,
I-
yet when we watched South Park, I can't remember watching it with you.
Mark, I know we watched like 4 of those movies together, but I swear to God, I've never seen these scenes in my life.
I don't think we
In the-
watched it.
in
I don't
Philosopher's
remember
Stone.
watching them with you.
Did I fever dream that? Like, did I
It's a
make that up?
shared fever
No,
dream.
you guys did.
Was it when you were in Mexico, Luke?
Yes, I think I was
So
not
it
there.
was
and
when-
you- or
okay.
I don't know if I was there, but I was somewhere else, and they
But
came back. and you guys-
It wasn't when we watched
No,
Gravity Falls
no,
together
so
or
that
Last
was
Man. It was
Mexico.
way before.
Yeah, so we watched those two when Luke
was-
was. So
I
we
was
watched-
probably like,
Oh, so it was
like
before COVID.
10. Yes, it was way before.
Yeah,
COVID.
it was. Yeah,
Oh.
but you guys didn't finish. I remember that.
I still don't
remember
remember.
that, 'cause That's when
I
I
still don't remember
Stop.
it.
yeah.
But I don't remember anything. Like, I
that's-
swear I've never seen these scenes before. He gave him a tail. Hagrid
he
gave
Yeah,
Dudley
he
a
did.
tail.
He did. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
But the way he spelled "Happy Birthday, Harry," I'm gonna cry. He immediately became Harry's dad. He stepped
Immediately.
one foot in there and
Immediately.
was like, "I'm your father
I'm your
now.
dad.
I'm your dad."
I like the later
Cool,
movies
okay.
more because like Luke and I love how it got like insane. But watching Cosmonauts video, I do miss when it was just kind of like whimsical childhood
Yeah.
mystery and like fun.
No.
So like,
Mm.
I do feel that after watching Cosmonauts is like that. The Sorcerer's Stone has a special place, like how Matt was saying, like formative memories of watching
Yeah.
the VHS of that. Oh my
Same
god,
for me,
that
Mark.
VHS was
Yeah.
just torn to shreds because we
Yes.
watched it so much.
Hermione got attacked by a troll in the bathroom because she was crying.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. It's a rude
That
Because
ass
Ron was
just-
making fun of her, but he had
troll
every right.
in the dungeon.
The point, the point of that scene was to teach young girls, don't cry, or else a troll will come attack you in the bathroom.
Don't cry in the bathroom. Don't be
Yeah.
Sounds like a J.K. Rowling.
I stopped myself.
Sounds like a lesson she
It-
would do.
Well, if we're thinking about J.K. Rowling, we should probably try to figure out what the troll was supposed to represent.
Oh,
and
God,
then
don't.
be
What
mad
do
at
you mean?
her.
No,
Yeah.
she didn't think about that bullshit.
Let's see retroactively what she thinks.
Yeah.
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 Oh, I
Um,
loathe her.
Good.
What was I
That
gonna
sounded
say?
like when the Grinch is like loathe entirely.
I can't. Because Cosmona also puts interview clips in those videos, and she's so annoying.
She is annoying. You know what sucks?
It's one thing to be a bigot. It's another thing to be fucking annoying.
She's annoying because she pretends. Let me be clear. It's because not just because she's annoying. But part of
No,
it is
it's
her
'cause she's
claiming that
pretending
she's
it was the
known
plan all
everything.
along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
Horcruxes, and it's like,
Mhm.
oh
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Tom
Yeah.
Marvolo Riddle, Luke.
I
I
am
am
Lord
Lord
Voldemort.
To spell
I
out
also,
not even Lord Voldemort, to
Yeah,
spell out
I-
I am Lord Voldemort.
Yeah.
So stupid.
I don't
That's the next movie.
understand what's happening in the movie. I
Good.
don't understand the sorcerer's
No,
stone.
you weren't paying attention. This is
No.
why.
I didn't realize the Sorcerer's Stone is a thing. It was a thing before Harry Potter.
Me
it's
neither.
a-
Yeah,
it's
like
a thing in
thing.
It's
lore.
about alchemy.
It's like the
Yeah.
Holy Grail.
Because that's how they
I
explained
don't
it.
know.
'Cause
That's
they've
a good
explained what
comp,
it is.
Kelly. That's a good comp.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, the Philosopher's Stone apparently is like a thing in like British lore from like way back in the day. I don't know.
And then 4 books in, she was like, "Oh, it's also a Horcrux."
Yeah,
Or
Yeah,
Kelly,
like, what
Kelly,
if?
6
Here we
books
are.
in.
Horcrux.
6 out of 7. She
Six.
introduces Horcruxes.
How many did she fucking write?
7,
God.
and in the 6th one, she introduces Horcruxes.
You know what? It sucks because she was like the most high profile, most successful female writer for
Yeah,
so
I
long,
know.
and now she sucks, and it's like at least we have a lot more like prominent female writers now, but
Yeah.
like
That aren't
that's just
pieces of
such a
shit.
bad you have such a responsibility to be like a good person when you're in the spotlight like that, and you just you boofed it, you fumbled it so hard.
She just tanked it.
Talking about that piece of shit. Let's
Sorry,
talk about
sorry.
John Pace some
She
more.
brought up a lot as you
Did you
continue
guys-
to watch the Harry Potter movies, guys.
Yeah, it's my fault. I keep bringing it up. Did you know that you know the poster on IMDb
Yeah.
of him
Yes.
holding the typewriter? He painted that himself.
No way.
Wait, I thought he
He's
was a
really done it
boxer.
all.
Wow, what a talented
What
guy.
the
No,
fuck
Mark.
did you just say,
You're thinking of Raging Bull.
No, look.
Yes.
Look,
It's a-
him
it's
holding
easy-
the
it's
typewriter.
easy
If you
confusion.
look at it from far away, it looks like he's on a treadmill.
It does.
Oh,
Did you think this
yeah.
was? Did you think this movie was gonna be about a boxer?
Yeah, who starts like crimes and stuff.
Who starts?
I mean, from that
crimes?
poster. Whoa.
That's
Wait.
so impressive. Painting
he got himself like so accurately. I could
Yeah.
never like do a self portrait that accurate. That's crazy.
You really did it all for this movie. It's so cool. I also feel very seen because my worst fear is also men in trucks.
In trucks? Oh my god.
Men in
I
trucks.
know. I was like, Mark, we've had the conversation. Every time I see like a Ford
F-150.
F-150,
Yes,
I'm like,
I always
no.
comment on
Yeah.
Ford F-150
It's the
every time I
scariest
see
thing. He
one.
gets it.
And so as soon as it was like the foreboding music, like and a truck, I was like,
man
this guy
in
gets
truck.
it.
Ford
I felt-
F-150.
I felt personally attacked by the line "Get a job, homo." I felt so
Dang it, Kelly,
personally
dang
attacked
it, I
by
was gonna mention that. Oh, I forgot.
Get a job,
Damn
homo.
it. Oh, dang it.
I
I
felt
also one thing I was trying to
directed at
remember.
me.
The one thing I was trying to
Sorry,
remember was
Mark.
to say that at you to get a job home. Damn it.
When Steven when he was just
Me
hanging
and a
out and
quote,
they were
isn't it?
just like riding skateboards, hanging out, I'm like, you know what? This is what I imagine Canada's like all the time. This sounds like a fun place.
See, apparently there are also men in trucks in Canada.
And that was news to me. I thought that was exclusive
There's
to
men
us.
in trucks everywhere.
Don't tell me that right before bed. Bad
Mark, sorry.
dreams.
Sorry, I stole the "Get a job, homo" before you
No,
could
I
yell it
wouldn't
at
have
me.
got it. No, I'm glad you said it because I forgot. Like I didn't write it down. I'm mad at myself because when I heard that I was like, oh my god, I have to say that together.
Very accurate. perfect line. too.
Sorry, Luke. That bothered Luke more than anybody.
And then, and then she was like, I was glad that he was going to meet Dr. Jolly or whatever, because there were bad signs on the street for Steven. And it was just a guy in the truck.
Okay, that might have been the most confused I was during the movie. I had no idea what she was implying, and I thought I had missed
She was
it.
She was implying he might get a pear thrown at him.
So
Get called to get a
confused.
job, homo.
Oh, I
That
didn't
was
know
a
what it was
rotten
relating
pear.
back to. I was just confused. I didn't. I don't know. My
Bad
brain
signs
doesn't
on the
like
street.
callbacks are hard for me. I forget that
Mhm.
things happen. So when things try to call back to certain things, I don't realize it unless it's extremely not subtle.
I
Are
will
you-
say I've seen this movie 3 times, but I was still concerned that I would just be like scenes were just completely unrelated to each
lost.
other when they were completely connected.
Mhm. It's like Joe's
Mark,
apartment.
are you like? It's like
Joe's
Joe's
apartment.
Are you like Mac in Lethal Weapon 6, where he's like explaining everything in the movie that's happened to that point?
Yeah.
And he's like, just so the audience doesn't get confused.
No,
And you're like, they're not confused.
Yeah, when there's sometimes in movies where I'm like, it would not be subtle for them to explain what's going on, but I wish they would because I'm like
I love a
I'm
good
missing what's
exposition
happening.
dump.
Yeah, like I
That-
just don't get
The Halloween 4
Like,
exposition dump in the elevator.
That's my
Every
shit.
movie
That's
needs
good.
that.
yes.
That's good.
Like sometimes it's like
Mark.
I should be able to tell what's happening, but I'm like not putting the pieces together. So I'm like, tell me,
Yeah.
tell me, have an
I-
exposition scene.
See, look, you wonder why I keep asking you questions while we watch movies. It's hard.
It's 'cause you're not paying attention.
Mark, I feel like that.
only do it with you, Luke. 'Cause
I
it's
know
not-
that.
I know this.
Was that Matt?
I feel like that a little bit when I was watching Shogun, because they're trying to like help you understand, and it's mostly subtitles. And so like I'm reading them and I know I'm like, this is so just like exposition dump heavy, but if I didn't have this, I would be absolutely lost. So thank you. I need this
Yes.
so bad.
Yes, but that's me with every
And so
movie.
maybe more movies need that. Yeah.
Ever since I went on
Not the
ADHD
Marvel way,
medication,
though.
I
Fuck
paid
everything about.
the ADHD medication
Go
makes me pay attention to the screen, and like I'm seeing it and can sit still. But man, my brain does not connect stuff sometimes now that I'm on it. I'm just,
Oh, no.
what the fuck is happening? That sounds bad. I feel fine, but like movies,
Okay.
when they're trying to be subtle, I'm like, I would prefer you not to be subtle and be a worse movie, so I
Yeah,
understand
please
what's
stop being
happening. I just don't. I'm not good at thinking.
These stills on IMDb, if
Oh,
you
yeah.
hadn't seen this movie and you looked through it, you would have no clue.
That's what I did,
what's
and
going
it kind of made it fun
Was
though,
the-
because I was like, I'm very confused.
This
Was
shot
that
of him
shot
just
of him
sitting in the
super-
window.
How about at the beginning of the movie when he's like superimposed at the window,
What about this?
standing in the window?
I can't see
Is
that
that the
one.
hog side?
It's just like a shot of him.
Oh,
just,
Him on the paper?
Yep.
Oh!
Wait, did the thing
That's
work
a
for you
good
guys?
part.
Did the
That
thing work
was
for you
good.
guys?
It's worked every single time.
I
for
love
me.
that it was like, okay,
Slightly,
you do
yeah.
it. It happened at the
That
end.
was done.
It happened at the end. It didn't happen, and then it slowly started like coming into view.
If you
Yeah.
start blinking, you can see it way better. So if you do all of
Oh.
that, you stare at the black dot a bunch, and then it goes to the white page. If you start blinking, you
If
can
you got
see it
that.
totally.
Yeah.
I think when you close your
but
eyes, you're
yeah,
supposed to see
or
it too,
imagining
because,
him
like-
just on the paper.
Oh.
yeah.
The shot of him
Him
on the
just
paper.
on the paper is so funny.
Oh, that's also in my top.
Yeah.
That shot.
That reminds me of Luke. It reminds me
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
the kind of the torpedo. I don't know what, just
Oh.
something about Luke.
Classic.
My favorite picture of all time is Luke torpedoing, but being the blunt for David Lynch.
Yeah.
You made that, and that's the best thing I've ever seen
That
in
was
my
good.
life.
That was very good.
That was a genius
That's so good.
move.
Who
Mark.
made that? It
Thought
was.
it was
you.
you.
I
thought
did
it was
not
you.
make that.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah,
It
I was
me.
gonna
It
say.
you. I thought
She's
it
just
was
saying it's
you.
a genius
It was
move.
me.
You
It's
did
a
that on
genius. Who did
purpose.
that?
You did that on purpose.
I didn't.
Who
I'm
made
playing
that?
chess
That's
with
genius.
myself.
I was gonna say I did not do that.
No, that was me. I guess I'm the genius all along.
When you really
Oh.
think about it.
That's what he did in this movie. Was he wrote himself to be a genius in the movie, like as his color crime movie.
Mhm, mhm.
I mean,
It's
if
Kelly.
you're gonna
It's
write
literally
yourself into a
Kelly.
story, you might as
It's
well make
literally
yourself
me.
a genius. Yeah.
He's the most literally me character I've ever seen.
Yeah.
There's two. You know
Yeah.
what? I just realized
Luke.
there's two sides of the spectrum. On one, you have
Oh yeah, Luke can tell us all about that. Also.
there's John Pace, who
Oh
writes
my
himself in, and
god,
he's a genius.
Kelly.
And there's Charlie Kaufman, who writes himself in, and
We
he's
need to cut that out.
I'm not cutting that out.
I
Just
it's already done.
Sorry.
just continue, Matt. Jesus Christ. Okay.
um.
I do want to hear what you're saying.
I was-
I get what you're going for, but continue what you're saying.
John Pace writing himself in, making himself a genius. On the other side, Charlie Kaufman writing himself into adaptation as Nick Cage, who's just the most neurotic, self-loathing. Like that scene where Steven has that moment of self-doubt, that but for 2 hours.
That's
Charlie
adaptation.
Kaufman. Yeah.
Luke, I'm sorry.
That's
So
all
I got
good.
too excited. and forgot we were being recorded.
I thought it was funny.
I'm gonna be
Okay,
honest.
good.
So I'm in trouble.
I didn't
so
hear it, and I'm afraid to ask what happened.
It's fine. It's fine. It's not anything we would need to cut out. Okay. It wasn't a slur
Okay.
like she wants to say.
No,
sometimes.
no. Whoa. Don't
Just
start this
itching.
narrative.
It's not a narrative. Luke knows it too.
Hold on.
We're canceling Kelly on podcast
Oh,
right
okay.
now.
Yeah, well, no. If I ever get famous one day,
This is
when I get famous one day, nobody can find me.
This is a joke. All of this is a joke. We're putting that out there, okay? So when people find
We're also
this
siblings.
is a
We're
joke.
allowed to say anything we want to each other.
I don't think that's how that
No.
works. Oh my god. All right. What do we think? Anything else on Crime Wave?
I wrote. Do you want to hear some of the other quotes I wrote down?
Please.
Okay. The one at the very beginning, before we even get into the story. Kim explaining the entire movie, going, once when Steven thought he couldn't write and almost died twice, something I found in here led him to the middle of nowhere, and there he got the power to go on. And almost died twice.
That was the pitch. That was
yeah.
you go into a room to get funding.
Funding.
Oh, like a pitch meeting?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the next one. Sorry, I was waiting on you.
I thought so too.
You looked down like you were gonna read the next one, and then you didn't. So I was.
It got quiet for so long that I was just waiting for someone.
But I was waiting. We were waiting on you. You were the one
I
talking.
know. That's why it's a funny.
Ooh, that gave me shards.
That was a collective moment of self-doubt.
That was intense. Okay. I wrote down everything that the dad says after the whole rat incident because he doesn't take a breath when he's saying all this. He goes, I should have had the Prozen in the first place, but no, I had to let Charlie Harris next door talk me into using his two-stepping drop-dead meatballs. Ha! I told him that rats aren't like cats or dogs. Here.
Wait, I like that they did not blame him for the rats.
Yeah.
And they still let their daughter hang out with him, even though he was just a man covered
After
in
the
rats and looked unfazed by it.
Just a man covered in rats. She was keeping him alive.
That's true.
That's
Yep,
true.
we're gonna leave it at
She would have died without her, actually.
Yeah. Get a job, homo, obviously.
that.
My favorite line of all time. Oh, once we get into the Dr. Jolly stuff, when Kim goes, but we didn't know. Sometime after he sent the postcard, Dr. Jolly would go crazy for no reason that anyone knew of. Okay, what was happening in sales was that something escaped into the air from a close-by secret place, and everyone had to leave their homes fast. Secret stuff fell all over the place, and if someone's dog or cat was left behind, it was too bad for their dog or cat.
Oh my god. Okay,
That
that was like
little
that was so dark. And then they cut and they show shooting off screen and a dog whimpering. I was like, what fucking
It was
what
so
happened?
funny though.
But it was so
for
dark.
no reason, sales was like contaminated, and they were like in suits.
I
It
will
was
say,
Chernobyl.
It was.
yeah. To me though, that scene, because it looked like a painting backdrop or
Yeah.
something, it looked like a shot from a Wes Anderson movie.
It did.
Something about it, I was like, I really liked that shot. Just two people, deserted street, kind of like a backdrop. Yeah.
Shooting a dog. All right.
Oh,
I am ready.
because it's so bad.
I
Because it's
also-
also that's a plot line in Chernobyl.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh God, it
God.
is. I know.
Yeah, that's why they did it. I think.
I
Like,
know,
'cause
but
they
it's
had-
Predates Chernobyl.
It's terrible. Terrible. Terrible.
Yeah.
Wait, what'd you say?
One of them.
I was waiting.
She
I
said,
said
it
this
predates.
predates Chernobyl.
Oh.
Yeah, just in Luke's
Oh,
face
yeah.
trying to think of.
Wait.
Wait. This was
It actually,
85.
yeah, Chernobyl wasn't that later 80s? Let me see.
87.
Oh my god, this actually does.
Okay, because yeah, it was April 1986 with Chernobyl.
86.
This movie got finished in 1986. Wait.
Wait. Okay. It seems like I don't know if I have this wrong. John Pace, tell me if I have this wrong. But
Yeah.
Send this to him.
it seems like the original ending, because at the end of the movie it says filmed from 84 to 86.
Yes.
And so but everything says 85, and it premiered at a festival before the new ending got filmed. So it seems like maybe the original ending was in 85, and then 87 is with the new ending.
Quite possibly, yeah.
Intriguing.
Intriguing.
John Payne.
And I don't know how much of the ending has changed. It's interesting lore going on. All right. I also love that the big villain of the movie is a Texan. Is just some guy from
Yeah.
Texas. Like Canadians' everyone's worst fear should be men in trucks. Canadians' worst fear, a Texan.
Texans.
Me too.
That's my word.
They're
yeah.
evil. Okay. I come 100 miles to breed this here bitch, and I want to know what's going on.
Again, I was so confused.
Well, because at first it's like when they drive into you okay? When they drive into the town and the dog chases after them, it's like, oh no, dogs are not supposed to be in that town
I thought it
because
was
of the
gonna get
toxins
shot.
in the
That's what you
shot,
think
but
is gonna
no.
happen.
He ends up driving the car. Maybe the toxins led it so he was
Subverts
able to drive
expectations.
the car.
Seriously, the funniest like third act plot twist I may have ever seen.
Incredible. Also, I'm obsessed with that there's no explanation.
At
That's-
all.
This is such I love this so much.
That was so good. That was my favorite part. Every time I think about it, it comes back to that. That being my favorite part.
No, they wouldn't find that, Stephen, because thanks to the power of a Kansas streetlight, he was given the strength of the world and a wonderful new beginning. Every time, and it's like, because every time I walk past a streetlight, like at night, I think of this movie and it makes me happy. I also just think of him like dangling down from the streetlight and being like,
just like
shaking around with it on his head.
Well, he was supposed.
That might
I thought he
be
was
it.
getting electrocuted.
He was.
Okay.
essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gave him powers to
Um,
write a good beginning and
Yes.
ending.
And he kept it on his head.
Only
As
if he
he-
keeps
okay,
wearing it on
It was
his head,
the
I guess.
biggest thing I've ever seen in my life.
John Pays with a streetlight on his head climbs through your window in the middle of the night. What do you do?
Yep.
Next time I'm invited to a Halloween function, I'm dressing as
Yeah,
that.
with the giant streetlight. Yes,
Everyone's
because
gonna
if
be so
anyone knows
confused.
what it is, though, you know.
You would know.
They know. That's it, because the only thing I have left is, did the bitch goddess success claim another victim? Which is incredible.
That's so good.
Those are the
I
quotes
need
I
that.
wrote down. And then there were others that I've already quoted.
This movie was so fun.
Yeah, I can't think
I'm
of
glad you
anything
guys
else I
liked
wanted
it.
to mention. I'm so mad about that one line, but it's fine. God, immediately, that's so bad that my mind immediately was like, I have to say this at Kelly, not even mention it to you. Like, that's so
Not
bad.
to
I'm
it.
sorry.
At her.
No, it's perfect. You thought of the one unemployed homosexual that you know. I gotta yell this at her.
The
only get this
Flattering,
opportunity
really.
once. I mean,
Yeah.
You only really
Yeah,
get the
that's true,
opportunity
that's
so
true.
often.
Luckily, you give
You
me
just
the
have to
opportunity.
meet another unemployed homosexual.
Yeah, but they won't be my sibling, so then it's like, ugh, you know.
You
Mm.
yell it at them anyway.
Boom.
In
Yell
your
it at
truck.
them.
Throw a beer
Especially
at
if they're a
Yeah.
That's called a
stranger,
hate
not a
crime.
close friend.
Mm.
I have no other notes on this movie. I had more fun than I expected. I've been having more fun than I expected with like most of these movies that we've been watching.
Yay.
Yeah, same.
Actually, all
Yeah.
of them so far. I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna be true for mine. Just
But
Oh no.
Wait, that you
Mark-
won't have fun with yours?
Oh no.
some of you might.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay.
it's like even if we
I
don't,
will.
No, it's not what
Oh.
you're thinking. It's
Oh,
not
God.
a vibe of Godzilla vs Kong.
Dang it.
it's like even if we don't like a movie though, it will still be fun to talk about it with you guys.
Definitely.
Yes, I will explain the reasons behind when we get to that part. I don't know if we're there.
Oh,
What is
Be-
okay?
Kelly, I forgot to tell. I wanted to tell specifically you. Katie and I tried to start watching Smile, and we only got 35 minutes in and had to stop it.
Yeah,
we were like,
Oh my god.
I was forced to watch that movie at gunpoint.
I thought you were
Yeah, I
talking
read
about
your-
Smiley Face, and I was like, you didn't like
No.
it.
At
No,
first,
not that
I
one.
thought you were talking about Smiley Face also, and I was like, yes. And then I was like, wait.
I know
Smiley
you told me
Face
that
is
you
pretty
didn't.
I was like, oh.
I knew you didn't like Smile, and so we were going
Yeah.
into it, and we were like, I was like, it has the worst
It's
like CGI, and it's also just not very scary. I don't know.
Smiley Face, incredible, directed
That's
by
good.
Greg
You're right.
Araki, incredible movie starring Anna Faris and John Krasinski for some reason.
Yeah.
Um, playing a guy named Brevin.
Oh,
Incredible movie.
Brevin.
That was a good
Smile.
movie.
The recent horror movie, absolute dog shit.
We couldn't get through it. We were both bored.
It's also the
yeah.
theater down here is so loud for some reason, and
Oh, yeah.
every loud sound that would play, like every little jump scare or anything supposed to be scary, just like burst my fucking eardrums.
That was
Um,
one of my chief complaints is that they were doing
Chief?
that my beef with it was they do the cheap horror movie thing of like
Oh no.
the phone ringing is so loud.
Yeah.
My back.
Yes.
Yeah,
The
you-
phone ringing is so loud to do a jump scare on you, and I'm like, that's cheap. Do something actually
Yeah.
scary. Come on.
Did you
You
say
know what it is?
chief complaint?
Chief complaint.
I've never heard chief complaint. I've never heard that term, so I was
It
confused.
just means like my one of my chief complaints just means like one of my major.
Context clues, Mark.
Well, I
gripes,
understood.
yeah.
I just have never heard it. I thought he was making something up, but I was like, I like
I
it.
think no. I think that's a phrase.
I like the
It
chief.
is now.
Okay.
That's such a stupid joke from How I Met Your Mother, but like
Well, I
that's
still
just
do.
like that's just formative memories.
Yeah. Sorry, that
Um,
has nothing to do with this discussion, but I had
No.
forgot to mention it.
My main problem with Smile is that they're using like the umbrella, even though Kyle Gallner's in it, and I love him.
I know.
Umbrella about making it like quote unquote about mental health to make it like it's not a shitty horror movie when it is a shitty horror movie, and they're not using and they're not portraying mental health like as it like it's really I don't like it. I just don't like it.
Well, and they do that thing where every single character except the main character doesn't take mental health like seriously, and our main character is the only person who
Right.
talks about it correctly. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I
Your
I see
movie
what you're
isn't
doing.
good just
Yeah.
because you say it's about mental health.
Yeah, so I don't think we're
Also,
ever gonna watch
though-
the end of it.
Just watch the end. Actually, no, finish it.
But it wasn't fun
Don't
up
watch
until
it.
that point.
No, but the end is weird. Like the end is like, and I don't like the end. It's like
Okay.
there's like this weird monster thingy.
Just
It's
staring
just
at you guys. I'm sorry.
weird. I
This
was-
guy's
I
just
sca-
staring at you.
I was confused because I remember seeing it had like good Rotten Tomatoes score,
don't
and
know
then you said
why.
you didn't like it, and then on Letterboxd it has a 2.8, which is bad. And I was
Yeah.
like, how do the critics like it has a 79%? How?
I don't know.
I don't get it.
Anyway, forgot what we were talking about before.
Just I wanted to say that I do highly recommend anyone go watch Crime Wave on
Oh yes.
Freevee for as long as Freevee's still around.
It's also
I think
available
it's just gonna
on the Roku
fuse-
channel.
I think it's gonna
Right.
fuse with Amazon Prime because Amazon Prime just started their ad stuff where you can pay $3. So
It'll
I
probably
think
be there.
I think they started that so then Freevee can integrate its stuff into it.
Did you guys know that the original title for this movie was The Big Crime Wave? And so there are
Hmm.
VHSs out there. They're all like $100, but there are VHSs out there that say The Big Crime Wave, and it's this movie. And if
That's
we can get our
awesome.
hands on one of those, guys.
You know what, Kelly? That makes sense. I watched it on Freevee, but first I had searched it on YouTube,
It said The
and I-
Big Crime Wave, didn't it?
and I got confused. So I was like, I'm gonna go to the one I know is
I
right.
forgot to
Me
tell
too.
you
I did the
guys.
exact same thing. So
Yeah.
I watched it on Freevee because of that.
Yeah, sorry.
The
They
Big
probably
Crime
wouldn't have
Wave.
ads on
Oh, I didn't
YouTube.
mind
Dude,
it.
I kind
The
of
quality.
like ads sometimes, guys.
Just a little
Like,
bit of a break. You go peep.
You go pee like you're
I-
watching Walking Dead with your family. It gives me
Ew.
vibes. No,
No, that's what I was
it's
thinking
the
about. That's what I
formative
was
memories.
thinking about.
Yeah,
I was thinking about.
I'm
Oh.
always so young for your
You know-
formative memories.
You know what's so
God.
funny about ads on Amazon now is that when I was watching the episode of Broadchurch, I was like devastated. Like I had this like
Yeah.
feeling of dread,
Just
and then it
cut
cut
And
to
then-
like a
Michael
silly
Cera,
little
Sarah
ad.
B.
Sarah
Yeah.
V, Michael Sarah ad comes on.
I was like, oh, that's really kind of takes me out of that.
I,
vibe.
I muted them. I muted the commercials every time because it would take me
It
out.
made me laugh. Like it actually made me laugh out loud because I was like, "Oh my god!" then it was like,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love that.
I would recommend everybody go watch this movie. You can like it's on YouTube, it's on Freevee, but it says The Big Crime Wave on YouTube. That's why I should have told you
Oh,
guys that it was under a
okay.
different title technically. But if we can get our hands on one of those VHSs, how fucking cool would that,
That would
be?
be amazing.
crazy. Yeah.
I just think everyone should go watch it and give it a chance. I love it
You
so
definitely
much.
should.
Luke, do you have any final thoughts? I feel like you haven't talked at all.
No, that's usual. That's a good movie.
I know.
It's a
I'm
good
glad-
movie.
It's a good
Very
movie.
good movie.
I love. Yeah, I really liked it. It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. Well, like especially every time
You
they
need to
start a
watch it
story.
again.
Every time they start a story and they're like, I don't know what's going on, but I really liked all the actual stuff that was happening. And then when all the characters, it's a crazy movie, but I very much liked it, and it was bizarre to wake
Hey.
up to in the middle of the night.
I'm sure. That scene is scary,
It
guys.
is. That's why I was confused, and then I fell asleep again. I woke up and it was black and white because some other movie started, and I was even
Yeah,
more
what
confused.
movie started playing?
I don't know. I'll have to let me look at my freebie.
Was
because
it
it's
the
like-
Crime Wave from 1955?
No, it was something
That
that was
one movie?
rated
Oh, yeah.
like very high.
So- The movie that's called Crime Wave Together, like that came out basically the same year, is a Sam Raimi movie
oh, I
Oh.
saw that.
called Crime Wave.
Yes, I
yeah.
saw that on
it's
YouTube.
like from the same year too. It's
So
interesting.
I thought I read that the reason that this movie is called The Big Crime Wave was because there was another movie called Crime Wave that came out around the same time, and
that's
they
the
wanted
same.
to.
That's that
Oh.
movie
Is it
then.
is it Sam Raimi?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because it came out in '85. The Sam Raimi movie did.
Okay, that's
That's
weird.
crazy.
Yeah, isn't it?
I was trying to look up the whole quote of, the top, and then whenever coming from the
Oh,
north, a newcomer, but I can't find it.
Give me a second.
Because every
Give
time I
me-
search Crime Wave 1985 quotes, it's from the Sam
Right,
Raimi movie.
87.
Okay.
But even that, see, you guys were so skeptical of me when I picked this movie.
I was a little
Little did you
skeptical.
know.
Movie.
It's the best movie ever made.
It's so fun.
I think
Luke,
I like how short
Matt,
it was.
The top. The top. Few films. Oh, this is a review. They did it like that. But it was, I thought it was the thing, but it was like the thing.
I see.
Anyway, Mark and Luke, would you recommend this movie?
Yes,
Good.
That's 4 recommends. Look at us.
it's a crazy movie.
10 out of 10.
Mark,
It's crazy.
I'm
It's a good time. Watch it with somebody.
watch it with somebody.
it's
'Cause I watched
wild.
it. I mean, it's also fun alone. I
It's
watched
also
it alone.
great
I had a
alone.
great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yes,
it's a lovely experience sharing this movie with somebody.
Yeah, I would want to watch this one with you guys. Kind of like interview. I feel like the
I'm
ones
so
that we've
glad
watched.
because
I'm glad I didn't watch Saltburn with you guys, and I don't know why.
why is that?
Because I feel like I just need
Luke
to
and I
stare at
watched
the
it
screen.
together.
I feel like I just need to stare at the screen and be like, I don't know about this, and then like it, but also be like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
Mark, I actually fully understand that because there was something about watching that one by myself where, like, by the end of it, I was like, that felt like a whole journey for
Yeah,
me
like,
internally.
where
I'm
it was just,
figuring
like-
out
so
how I feel about this.
I
movie.
watched it with Trini. What the fuck? I'm just blank. Sorry, not on her name. I was thinking
Bad
ahead.
person.
Okay.
Bad person. You're bad
Okay.
person.
I'm sorry. No, I was thinking about like we watched it together, and then I enjoyed watching it with her because we were both kind of like, eh. And then by
Yeah.
the end, I felt a lot higher on it than she did. But multiple times, we're just like staring at each other, like, But with you guys, I feel like I wouldn't have done that because I'm like, I'm trying to understand what's going on, and sometimes I just want to be like, what the fuck?
My first viewing of Saltburn was just so fun because it was me and Maya sitting in this like huge, almost fort kind of thing, but on the ground that we built, and basically screaming like, "What the fuck is going on?" And it was just so.
Saltburn
I
in a
just love.
How it
was-
was intended.
It was just. It was. I love watching movies with people. It's
Yeah.
just so much more fun.
Yeah.
Yes, this one would have been a great experience watching with you guys.
It makes me so happy because I watched this movie on my own on a whim. I can't even remember how I found it. And then the next day I made Luke watch it. And then I assumed, like, Matt, you would eventually watch it because
Yeah.
you had seen it and you had mentioned it because I liked it. But Mark,
Yeah.
I didn't think you would ever see this movie. And it makes me so happy that now we've all seen it and it's, like, entered our sphere of movies that we talk about and love.
This will be in the lexicon of like the quotes that we throw at each other.
Lexicon, yes.
Yeah.
It makes me so happy.
I so many I can just guarantee it. There's gonna be so many times when we go the top.
The top. That was one of Steven's attacks of self-doubt. You can see that. Mark, are you okay?
He's talking to a ghost.
I'm talking to
reading
Trini and apologizing to her. I called her in here
We're
because
taking
I
it
felt
on?
bad about the whole
Oh,
thing.
no.
So I just called her in immediately to get it to tell her what happened.
It was
Oh,
just
So she
should
doesn't
tell her
listen
that you're a
back and
bad
think I forgot
person.
her name.
Trini Mark's
I'm
a bad
Kelly's
person.
saying I'm a bad person. So yeah,
The
I know,
worst.
but I want to
The
apologize and
worst.
say that I know your name. I was blinking on everything, but I love you.
Mark, do you know our names?
Yes. Okay.
What are our names?
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Trini. Hi, Trini. Bye,
Hi,
Trini.
Trini.
They're saying
We
hi
love
and
you. I love
bye.
you.
Bye.
Hi.
Kelly says
You know
they
who
love
knows
you.
our names?
Yeah.
Michael Ian Black. He knows.
Michael Ian
our
Black
names.
knows our names, and that's fucking wild.
Trini said she's gonna
Guys,
quiz me
That's
later
crazy.
to make sure
Good.
I know her
No.
name.
You should film it.
Mark, I am just dying to hear what your movie is going to be
Yeah,
for
what the
next
fuck
week
is
because you
this? I
teased
still
that
don't
and
know.
now I can't stop thinking about it.
I don't know.
What
who
do
to-
we get?
Are we okay? Does anyone
Are-
else have anything?
I'm good.
I'm done.
Luke?
I'm spent.
I'm good.
It has officially been
Alright.
almost 30 minutes longer than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, see, the perfect movies are hour 20 at most.
At most.
So
The perfect movies.
those are my favorite movies. But
Yes.
that's not what I'm
Drum
choosing.
roll. What are you picking? Yeah.
No,
drum roll.
let me preface that this is
Yeah.
it's interesting that you were talking about formative movies because this is one of those.
Yeah.
And it's not particularly maybe a good one, but it's one we watched a lot. And director is kind of an asshole, so if we make fun of it, it's totally cool. So
Okay.
Okay.
I'm
Drum roll.
choosing
Okay.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Oh.
from 2005 because I have been
Okay.
ever since Wonka.
Okay.
I've been like wanting to rewatch it. It's the same thing, Kelly. So again, I've had this for 4 weeks. Like since we were doing it, I've just been like, I'm gonna choose that, right? But you guys have been saying stuff, and you saying like for some reason you want to watch Oz. For some reason, I've just been wanting to watch this, even though it's like bad.
Makes sense because Wonka just came out.
Yeah, and I've been
yeah,
wanting
We
to watch it
did-
since
we
then.
all-
We
well,
watched a lot.
I was thinking about this.
A lot. We had the
I was-
soundtrack.
We
I was thinking about this because when we did the episode about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory,
Mhm.
you said you were going to watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, and we didn't have to,
That
but
was a
we
while-
could,
Oh
and
yeah,
you never did it. And so I was thinking about that.
I
that-
forgot we even said
I
that.
wonder if But did you have to hold your breath when I talked about Willy Wonka
yes,
earlier?
and
this
we,
episode?
yes, you mentioned Willy Wonka last week
That's
too.
foreshadowing. I can't stop thinking about Willy Wonka. If we watch Charlie and Chocolate Factory, I'm gonna have to rewatch Willy Wonka and the Charlie
But
Factory. Charlie Factory.
Charlie Factory. Willy Wonka. Willy
Wait.
Wonka.
Is it because we just watched Tour de Pharmacy and Freddie Highmore?
So
Freddie Highmore.
So some people, and I'm not trying to copy them. Some people who watch Wonka, they watch Charlie and the Chocolate Factory beforehand. I listened to their podcast, and I was like, this movie is insane compared to the first one. And I was thinking about all the little Oompa Loompas and their songs, and
Oh yes.
so then in my head that fucking song that's like Willy Wonka has been stuck in my head since I've listened to that, which was 4 weeks ago before we started our podcast again.
Oh my god.
So that's why I was like, I really want to watch this, not to copy them, but because I wanted to watch it and see what you guys thought we were watching it. But if it's trash, which it is, most likely, we can make fun of it because Tim Burton sucks. So it's okay if we dog on his movie because he's not a great person.
I want to
That's why I
just
chose
count how many white people I see on screen when
It's
watching.
nothing but white people.
It's only white
Yeah,
people.
that's a useless game because what? I'm surprised he somehow didn't make the Oompa Loompas white.
Yeah, you. If anyone would find a way, it'd be him.
Shocked. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, but
But it's also like he's making the
they're
adventures
also
for
like,
Vince- yeah,
like
I know.
in that movie they are from a different island and stuff, and so they're the only people that are non-white, and he stole them from their island and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Wait, isn't that in the original?
Yeah, but they're but
yeah,
they're
but
not-
They're orange.
they don't look like people. Yeah, don't know what's happening.
I'm
with
confused.
them.
I don't know when the last time I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory is.
Oh, me either. I watched it so much as a kid. And
I
I
know.
haven't watched it in
I
like
just
a decade and a
remember-
half.
CGI. That's all I
A
remember.
lot of CGI.
Also, I
yes.
didn't like what they did with Mike TV because he's supposed to be a cowboy. I think the kid still slayed because the kid was still bitchy.
From what I remember,
But
the casting
I
was
did-
good to get the kids
The
accurate to
casting,
the first
yes.
Yeah.
But I was upset that he wasn't wearing a cowboy hat. Because
one.
Mike TV, the icon.
Mike
You know what I
TV.
remember is that Anna Sophia Robb from Bridge to Terabithia
Yes.
is
Oh.
Veruca Salt in that one.
Oh,
And
Bridget.
whatever happened
Wait,
to
wait,
her?
No,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait,
no,
wait.
no, no. Violet.
No,
The
Beauregard.
little
she's-
blonde bitch. She plays the blue.
Violet
the
Beauregard.
Yeah,
Violet
she's
turning
Violet
violet.
Beauregard, you're right.
Oh,
Who's Veruca? I don't even remember.
Veruca's.
I don't know who that
Okay.
actress is. But
And
I've been
Freddie
wanting to
Highmore.
watch this, and
Yeah.
I've just been thinking about doing a
Famous Tour de
childhood
France.
one. But I want to do one
I-
that, I have great memories of this movie. Even though,
Me
like,
too.
when I think about it, I'm like, that's a bad scene. But I, think about it because I watch it with Luke a lot. We watch this movie
Yeah.
way
More-
too much. We watch this way more than
Yeah.
the original. Yes.
My
Uh,
glasses are reflecting. Mark, I have
Me
to
too.
admit to you that last weekend
Mhm.
I was walking out of the room and I heard Luke go, the shaggy dog," and you go, "Yeah." And I thought you were being serious, and I was like, "I'll have to pretend I didn't hear that." and then out of nowhere, I got a recommendation on YouTube of all places for the Shaggy
Yeah,
Dog
'cause you
trailer.
said it, yep. Because you said it. You know what?
Because
I
you
watched
said it,
one of
but-
the
but-
old sequels of the original Shaggy Dog, and I rented it from Hastings, and that movie sucked, and somebody drowned in a lake. I was so confused.
my God.
Yeah.
Terabithia.
Oh. I'm gonna choose the Maniac McGee TV movie.
Ooh.
Oh my God.
You should.
Mark,
You should.
oh, that
You should
reminds me. I saw someone at my work has one of those, big water bottles. They have a bunch of stickers on it, and I saw one that was a picture of a pig, and it said "Wild Hogs, Madrid, New Mexico."
Wow.
And I was like,
that's
I thought I was the only person who knew what that was.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Wild Hogs! I thought about that 2 weeks ago,
Why did
Matt,
we watch
because
that so much?
I thought about how he ate the butter. So every time I see a stick of butter, I think of Tim Allen eating a stick
me
of butter.
What the fuck?
I don't
I
remember
have
that.
no idea what you guys are talking
We
about.
watched that all the time in car rides. Car rides was Wild Hogs.
and
No, it was
and
not
Battle of the
Libre.
Smithsonian.
Yeah,
Oh,
those two.
See, my era of car ride movie was Nacho Libre and Austin Powers 2.
So it was,
That's
yeah.
all we watched when I was in the car.
Mark,
I'm the
What was
neutral
Wild Hogs?
eating the
eras.
butter was so.
They're on
It's like a
motorcycles.
motorcycle movie with John Travolta, Tim Allen.
William H.
Martin
Macy
Lawrence
Martin
and
Lawrence.
William H. Macy.
Yeah, what a cast.
And now knowing that like Tim Allen
Sucks.
sucks, it's just like funny watching
Eating
it though.
butter. What?
His cholesterol is bad, so he has to eat like healthy stuff, and then
Mm.
he just like cracks and doesn't want to, and he eats
Mm.
half a stick of butter just in one bite,
And then it cuts to
Guys.
him in the
It's
hospital.
coming back.
and then he goes to the hospital.
Yes.
Guys, I just accidentally spit and it landed on my computer, and so I wonder if like because you can see the spit like coming at you like it's
like 3D.
It's a 4D.
Oh, that's what I was thinking about that earlier. I was gonna mention the last movie I saw in Sierra Vista, was
name drop.
whatever. In that Cinemark, that's way too loud. Was Scream 6 in 3D, which is just
Yeah,
such
and
a
it was
weird
way
movie
too
to-
loud.
It's way too loud and was
You
not
were with us.
3D at all. All that
Yeah.
happened was the depth perception was kind of cool. It was kind of cool when someone's in focus. They
I
like
just
you could
don't
see.
like that movie.
It was good.
You know what? That's a pretty good
Um,
movie, guys.
But Mark, I was fully convinced you were about to say the Shaggy Dog, and
That's
I was
so
going to
funny.
pretend to be surprised. And so when Charlie and the Chocolate Factory left your mouth, I was genuinely like taken aback. Like I probably had no reaction on my face because I was so prepared for the Shaggy Dog.
I don't think
Shaggy
I don't
Dog
even
is
think
neat.
Luke and
I
I
thought
were
you were being
talking about the
serious.
podcast. I think we're just talking
We
about the
were.
Shaggy Dog. Like,
Well, because we were talking about what, like, me and Trini were trying to guess what you had picked before I went into the room, and then I leave the room and I hear Luke go, "The Shaggy Dog," and you go, "Yeah," or something like that. and I
I'm
was like,
pretty sure a conversation shift changed between me and Luke because we talked about the
Yeah.
Shaggy Dog, but I don't think it was in relation to the podcast.
No, something happened. Something happened.
Shaggy Dog was the era of Herbie Fully Loaded, like Disney.
Yes.
Like-
Herbie Fully Loaded, also a part of the state universe.
oh,
Not
Yeah.
universe, but it's by the state. It's by them. Isn't it
That's
Robert and
crazy.
Thomas?
Yeah.
Luke?
Yes.
That's
Is that crazy?
crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Do you guys remember Underdog?
Yes, I do.
that
With
one
the
was not
dog?
formative for me, but I do remember
was-
it.
Kind of
It's
formative
not
for me. that one.
formative for
Yeah.
me, but I would bring it up because Peter Dinklage is the bad
Yes,
guy in that
yes, he is.
one.
I remember, yeah.
And
Icon.
it messed me up to remember that because I was like, wow, I'm so glad his career like got better after that.
I
Whoa,
love
whoa,
Peter Dinklage.
whoa, whoa, whoa. You
Wait
saying
a
that
second.
Underdog isn't
Yeah.
a
Okay.
peak?
Do you remember Cats and Dogs?
Think-
'Cause that was a
Oh,
formative movie.
I do
Luke and
remember
I,
Cats.
Luke and I
I-
just talked
didn't
about
we-
Cats and Dogs.
Yeah.
Didn't we see Revenge of Kitty Galore with Grandma?
We did in theaters.
Yeah.
I didn't know that for the longest time that Jeff Goldblum was the dad because I didn't know who Jeff Goldblum was when I was a kid. Now it's like, whoa, that's Jeff Goldblum.
Cats and Dogs.
What are you doing in this movie?
It was the move. These movies, when I was a kid, I was like, these movies are like what everyone watches. Like these are good movies.
I thought that too.
and then I'm
Yeah.
like, nobody else probably watched Cats and Dogs.
I just assumed that that's whatever. Yeah, that was
That's
like
what
the
every
was
kid
cinema.
watched. That's what
Yeah.
we had. So that's what everyone watched.
Everyone watched The Sandlot 3 heading home.
Everybody did. Everybody did.
Or what I was like, our babysitter knows what's up because she got It Takes Two. Do you
Oh yes, I watched that.
remember
all the
It Takes
time.
Two?
I remember It Takes Two.
They played
Do you-
baseball in the
I-
street with a stick.
Do you know that movie, Kelly?
No, but I do remember being at Donna's, and I think we were flipping through cable, and Million Dollar Baby being on the
Yes,
screen for
yeah,
some
you told me
reason.
that, yeah.
And so I saw Million Dollar Baby when I was like, before I went into kindergarten.
I remember watching Terminator 3 over there.
Terminator
What's
3
strange-
is a fever dream. Every time I think about the
I-
movie, I can't remember a single scene.
But
It's
yeah,
the-
Kelly, It Takes Two is a Mary Kate and Ashley movie that
Oh,
we would watch
yes, yes, yes.
constantly.
Yes,
over
I do
there.
know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And I
Um,
remember watching The Parent Trap, the Lindsay
Yes.
Lohan
That one?
version a lot.
That
Um,
one,
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and Look Who's Talking, we always watched.
Yeah.
And I did
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
understand what sperm was, so I didn't understand the beginning.
Watch
that just reminded
Fetus Friends.
Okay, you reminded me, Mark, of another formative movie, Freaky Friday.
Yes.
Oh my
A
god, we
formative
watched that
movie.
so
Iconic.
much.
And we watched the first, I don't know, act of it the other day, and I was like, this movie goes hard. This is a good movie.
Okay, good. I was
Jamie
so
Lee
afraid you were about to
Curtis.
say
Jamie Lee Curtis
was
is so
it?
good. Oh, I want to watch that.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
I'll watch that before bed.
That's a good one.
that could be a good pick.
Yeah,
That would be a good
that's a
pick.
good pick.
It's so strange because we all shared the experience of going to Donna's
Mhm.
before school. it's a hard thing to explain to somebody.
Yes.
I've had this issue because whenever I say my babysitter, people assume that the babysitter came over to your
Came
house.
to
I'm
our
like,
house. It was like,
No, like I went
we-
to a babysitter.
I didn't even
yeah,
consider
until we started
that
going
it
to
was weird.
preschool.
Yeah,
It's like daycare. Is like
it's
how
like
you
daycare.
explain it.
Yeah.
It was like daycare, but there was like 5 of us
Yeah.
at one time, and it
there
was
are
just
like
in her house.
snakes
It was
around us
awesome, though.
sometimes. Like
And
there are multiple rattlesnakes. It's fun.
but she let us
great.
play with roller skates, and it was a lot of fun. And
She
I'm
let us
pretty
watch
sure.
$1 Million Baby.
Yeah. And I remember like watching like the beginning of Pocahontas like 11,000 times and never finishing it because I was a child. and I'd be
Yeah,
like,
you
"I'm
probably
gonna
got
play with the
bored.
pomegranates."
You probably
Yeah.
got
But it was
bored.
also like we spent our whole days there.
Yeah.
Like that's where we went until we
my-
went to preschool.
Oh my god.
It's just hard.
I forgot.
it's-
Like
I-
we went there. I always think about after school, but I forgot like before we even started preschool. Like that was it.
That's where
We
we
just
would
went to
be.
Don's
where
every
we
single day of our
were.
lives.
That was our place.
I remember
Do you
like
remember waiting for the bus, like on the couch? We
Yes,
would peer
on
over.
the stoop.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes, I remember waiting for the bus because I had my bus buddy, and I can't remember his name now, and it makes me so upset.
Oh,
But he was like
no.
my best
Marty.
friend, and for some reason we weren't in the class. Sure, Artie, let's call him Artie.
Yeah.
And we were like best friends on the bus, and we sat right behind the bus driver because we were the 2 last people picked up, and we were only best friends on the bus because for some reason we weren't in the same class. And I remember I always got picked up before him because I was on the way. And we were best friends and everyone on the bus knew it. And one day the bus driver and everyone else on the bus surprised me by picking him up first. So I got on the bus and I was like, "Oh my god, Artie, you're already here." And we were so excited and it was so awesome.
That's a cool
Yeah,
bus
That's
driver.
That was a
Great.
formative thing.
That is
so I
a
was
cool
like,
bus driver.
It was really cool because everyone knew how close we were and how much probably had too much fun on that bus that had no
That's-
seatbelts.
That's so wholesome though. Like I love that story. That's
Thank
great.
you. I still remember that, and I wish I knew his name. I wish I remembered his name, but it's also hard because we only ever saw each other on the bus.
What if he's one
But
of the
Artie.
19 people who listens to this podcast? and
Oh
you're
my
like,
god. Oh my
464
god, Artie, if you're out there.
464 on
Mhm.
YouTube.
460.
for trick or
I
treat.
still don't believe you're telling the truth. I still don't believe that.
You'll
I'm
never
I'm
know.
not sure you know how to read, so
Hey, I could have chosen a lot worse movie, Kelly. I don't know about that.
You
Actually.
could have chosen the Shaggy
complaining.
Dog.
I'm not complaining.
The Shaggy. Man,
I was just so prepared for the Shaggy Dog that I was caught off guard.
You know
was
what? It-
Positive.
it is
I was
along
ready
the
to
s-
lie my ass off too and be like, "What a weird pick, Mark."
It is around like it's the same type of vibe of stuff that we've watched as a kid. It's just like Charlie and Chocolate Factory is more popular because it was like a huge deal when it came.
Those were all. That was like.
Or was it?
05, and
Was it even a huge deal, or was it just our family because we watched it 7 billion times?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it was like widely publicized because it was Tim Burton and it was Charlie and
Yeah.
the Chocolate
I
Factory.
just don't know.
but-
I don't know what's going on because I
No, I
thought
think it
Brother
was
Bear was
popular.
hot shit too, and it is. But
Oh,
I
it
thought
is
I
hot
thought
shit,
that
but it's hot shit
everyone
and
and their
cool.
mother knew what that movie was.
Mark, I'm gonna find
Where we
how
lived,
many-
it was
That's
because they
true.
made us watch that in school, and all of us cried.
Oh.
They made us all cry together, so we bonded.
No, Kelly.
I believe
Kelly,
that's actually what
we
their goal
watched
was.
that when Grandma came over and took care of us because one of you was in the hospital.
Yes.
And it was a movie about like siblings
So-
and cry, and so like it was that
I don't.
that's super sad night. I remember.
I don't
that.
remember that.
It was probably
So
you
was
in
it
the
when
hospital.
I was in the hospital?
Yeah,
Or
I
was
think
it-
that's when
okay.
you had croup.
When I almost
Yeah.
died.
Yes,
Yeah.
Probably.
but do you guys remember Grandma coming over super
Mhm.
super late, and she gave us Brother Bear, like she gifted it to us, and we watched it that night.
And I think we ate McDonald's because I
Yes!
remember like
Oh my
eating
God, we
chicken
were-
nuggets.
Oh my god!
When we did that,
Is
But
that
it's
how
literally
Grandma made you
about
guys cope with
siblings.
me maybe dying?
maybe.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like-
Mark, I
that's
can't
pretty
believe you
good.
pulled that out of my brain.
yeah, because we watched
'Cause I-
it in,
yeah,
not in
I
the front
remember
room,
that.
in the living room. You remember that?
I think I was. Was I one?
You
At that
remember it?
time?
Well, no, if I was.
Yes.
No, I was not
Two
one. I'm so
months.
sorry. I had to have been like 3.
Kelly was alive.
Yeah, because I was 2 months.
You
Or
couldn't
1
even
year
been
old or
through. Yeah.
something. You
Mark,
had
we
to be
were
like
in the living room.
3
I
to
remember
4.
that. We were
Yeah,
on
in the
that
living
couch.
room. Yep.
Oh,
Oh, that
Didn't
one-
I remember watching Ratatouille with Grandma at our house. Was it that same
Ooh.
night?
No, I don't think
It
so.
couldn't have been because that was later on. I
Yeah.
don't think that was a bad night. I think that was just like
that was a good.
I just remember
Yo.
she like
We're watching
gave us Brother Bear,
Ratatouille.
and that's like the copy that mom and
Yeah.
dad had for so long was the one that Grandma gave us on that night that you went to the hospital. And
Dang,
we
dang,
didn't know
dang,
if you
dang.
guys, we didn't know if Kelly was coming home, and it was
Mark-
so sad. And I like didn't know how to comprehend what was happening because I was like, Grandma, well, the first thing was I was young, but like old
Yeah.
enough to be like where you were alive. So I was like 7. So like I was
Yeah.
like, I don't know what's happening, but I know it's not good because I never saw grandma at night. So the fact that she was at our
Yeah.
house late, I was like, I don't really understand what's happening. And I'm sure mom and dad didn't say how bad it was with you, but like I was just like, I don't really get what's going on here, but I know it's not good.
What
Thank
can I
you for-
say? I've been an
Yeah.
attention whore my whole life.
Well, if that's the case,
That
so
thing
did
that
Luke,
happened when I was
'cause
1, it was all for attention.
Luke
Oh yeah,
with
no,
his
Luke,
eardrum.
his ear thing,
Yes,
that was all
yes.
for attention.
Yes, yes.
Mark, thank you so much for bringing that up because I didn't know, like, I couldn't remember that's why. I
Mhm.
have a vivid memory of watching Brother Bear and eating McDonald's,
Mhm.
but I don't know why it's stuck in my memory. So
Dang.
thanks for
That,
bringing that up.
'cause
I didn't know
It was
that
a
was
weird
why.
night. It was a weird night because it was Grandma Jean there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the missing puzzle piece for me. Wow. Thank
That's,
you.
that's what it feels like when your frontal cortex clicks together.
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
his
That's when
his
you're Mark, when you turn
cortex
25 and your
closed.
brain fully formed.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
just remember everything now. It's kind
Yeah.
of how Luke wasn't reaching for Titanic, like he said a million times. He's reaching
Oh,
for
right,
Star
right.
Wars.
Wait, did
I've
I make
always
that
said
narrative?
You made
Did
Yeah,
I,
it was
always
create
said
the
Star Wars.
Titanic
It was
narrative?
Kelly. Kelly was the one who made up the Titanic one.
I was positive it was Titanic,
was
but I
not.
was
Definitely
not there,
not. It
and I
was
was
Star
not
Wars.
conscious.
Why was it
Mark,
so
I
high
want-
up there if you watched it all the time? I'm confused.
That's a good
Maybe
Someone
it was
told me it was
Titanic.
Titanic. Someone told me it was Titanic. I
Mark,
swear.
It's probably
You
me. I was
asked-
probably lying to you for a joke.
potentially. Mark, you were asking how popular Charlie and the Chocolate Factory
Yes.
was.
How much did it make?
on? Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I was just saying how many people logged in on Letterboxd.
Hmm.
So under watches, it has 1.74 million watches,
Okay, so it is
and Mike
popular.
Flanagan has seen it.
Okay,
so it's
oh,
popular.
He's seen everything.
You
He's
know
seen
what?
everything.
Is Crime Wave the only movie that we've seen that Mike Flanagan hasn't? Because he's seen
Interesting.
everything.
No, actually, I have
Right.
seen some. It's like he hasn't watched a ton of like sequels to horror movies. So like, we've
Oh,
seen,
really?
like-
I would think
right,
he did.
he's seen like a lot, but like I think I pulled up like Halloween 4, and he hadn't logged that, and I was like,
He's probably seen it, but hasn't.
maybe, he
he
just
forgot
hasn't got
to
through
check it.
then.
Yeah.
But that was I noticed that. But so much stuff because he has over 3,000 movies. It's just like, who's seen this? Yup, Mike's seen it.
Mike
Sometimes you see
Flanagan.
Raul on there, and I'm like, Raul.
Yeah.
Like,
You're like, ooh, Raul.
It's like Raul took a break from Red Dead Redemption to watch a movie.
Mark, your movie is 2 hours.
I know. I do feel bad about that because I don't even want to do that. But
This interview was longer.
but guys, I feel like it's gonna bring back
Oh, it's fun.
memories.
It'll be
gonna
fun.
bring back memories.
It's
Be
gonna
fun.
be fun. Yeah, it will be.
Also,
I'm
from what I
excited.
remember,
It's
Johnny Depp's performance is one of the weirdest things of all
It's
time.
so strange.
Absurd.
Well, is it because it's like you're not trying to replicate? You
Yeah.
can't top what Gene Wilder did.
Yeah.
So you have to go another approach at it.
But like,
I don't
there's
know what he was going for.
other approaches as well that maybe
Wait, wait.
when.
We should save this for next
Yes.
week.
Okay.
Yeah,
You're right,
yeah.
you're right.
Because
Okay, we'll
this
save
will be yeah.
Okay. Oh, we already talked to everything else about Crime Wave. Okay, I'm
Well,
just gonna stop.
And wait.
Okay, yeah.
Crime Wave, one of my favorite movies of all time. Love it so much. John Pays, I love you.
If he comments,
That's-
I'm
on
a
this,
big
I
fan
feel
of you,
like-
John Pays.
Big fan.
This guy's cool. Okay, bye.
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 Bye.